Sophia Bush is Good Sam. New series, Wednesday, January 5th on CBS.
Built to last for generation to generation, our furniture is more than just pieces in your home. It is what makes it unique and fills it with the beauty and comfort for you and your family. It is a gathering place to create those special memories, but also durable for those not so quiet times.
Don't wait weeks or months for your next edition. Choose a one-of-a-kind piece from our in-stock selection, ready for immediate delivery. Visit us at Windy Hill Furniture.
Don't you go anywhere, because coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. It's crunch time for the Steelers as they look to stay in the playoff hunt by cooling off Patrick Mahomes in the Red Hot Chiefs. And then it's out to Vegas. The Broncos meet the Raiders in a must-win game for both squads. That's coming up next, right here on CBS. And welcome back to Studio 43 in the NFL Today update. I'm Nate Burleson alongside Boomer, Coach, and Phil. What a day it's been so far.
And what a game it's going to be, guys. There's Patrick Mahomes, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions this year, 4th season in a row for over 4,000 yards. If they win today, they clinch the AFC West.
All right, but there's Big Ben. Big Ben has been there and done that. Of course, he's a little bit older, but he still got the juice. 5th most passing yards in NFL history.
No Travis Kelce today, but he does get Tyreek Hill. He was activated yesterday. He is a very dynamic and electric player. Fastest guy on the field.
Najee Harris, running back for the Steelers. He's had some tough yards this year, almost 900 yards, but he needs to run the football today, hopefully control the clock, to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field.
You know, Coach Tomlin said, we don't want hostages, we want volunteers, and he decided to trade Melvin Ingram in the middle of the season to the Kansas City Chiefs. He has been the final piece to what has been a dominant defense.
There's not too many guys that can do it all, but T.J. Watt can. He is one of those individuals. 15 strip sacks in the last 4 seasons. That's most in the NFL. He's an absolute Destructicon.
Yeah, I'll tell you, his defense this weekend has been dynamic, and that is the middle linebacker who makes all the calls, gets people aligned, and again, trying to keep that Pittsburgh offense stymied.
Cam Hayward, defensive tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, made the Pro Bowl once again. Inside presence, stop the run. Can you pressure Patrick Mahomes is the big question.
And in our other doubleheader game for Broncos versus the Raiders, you'll see Drew Lock, starting quarterback for the Broncos. Phil said at the pregame show, this is a career-defining moment for this young man right here.
And we know who the starting quarterback is for the Raiders, Derek Carr, who has dealt with more than any other quarterback this season, but his 4,162 yards passing is second in the NFL this year.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Ben Roethlisberger talked about, they still have a pulse. They need to get off to a faster start than they have in weeks past.
Ooh.
And right now, think about this game. Kansas City wins, they win the AFC West. They'll hold on to the number 1 seed. If Pittsburgh wins, they're going to get the number 7 seed in the playoffs. Yes, they do have a pulse.
Kansas City, they don't have Travis Kelce. We'll see what Patrick Mahomes does without him. Enjoy the game. We will see you at halftime.
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. The Grammys, hosted by Trevor Noah on CBS.
On the McCormick Tree Farm, my dad and I both had missions. I trimmed the Christmas trees, and he picked one out to decorate. During the war in Iraq, my mission changed, but Dad stayed the same. He picked one out and somehow got that tree from our farm to that desert. I'm Dave McCormick. From your home to that desert, Christmas is full of unexpected blessings. May God bless you.
It's Sunday and the day after Christmas. You know what that means. Thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below with the thumbs up button. Share using the hashtags NFL, Steelers, here we go, Chiefs, Chiefs Kingdom, and the game hashtag as well, PIT for Pittsburgh versus KC for Kansas City. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. Steelers Chiefs about to kick off on CBS from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Steelers have won 2 of their last 3 games overall over Baltimore and Tennessee, including 3 of the last 4 versus the Chiefs as well all time in the all-time series. Sitting at 7-6-1 right now in 2021 on the outside looking in the AFC playoff picture. However, due to the Charger and Raven loss from earlier today. Pittsburgh now sits at number 7 in that 7 hole, the 7th seed currently in the AFC playoffs. Chiefs, they've won 7 straight after a 3-4 start, not having lost since the week before Halloween to the Titans, who the Steelers just beat last week, and now it's the day after Christmas. So that has to speak for something for the role that Kansas City is, in fact, on. Aerial shot of Arrowhead Stadium, AFC playoff picture look as well. If Pittsburgh wins, as they sit currently following those losses from earlier, they'll stay in the 7th spot. Kansas City with the win, they'll win the division and be AFC West champions. Once again, they are a 10-point home favorite today. However, this game, I do believe, will be decided by less than a touchdown down the wire. Mark my words. It's a Steeler game. I mean, honestly, what do you expect? Pittsburgh, though, they have to start fast. They have to also find a running game early and often with Najee Harris. Number 7, Big Ben Roethlisberger cannot do it all by himself. Help him out a little bit, take some pressure off of him, and run the damn ball. Believe me. You find a running game and then have a running game, the rest of the offense playbook will open itself up. And really, you're going to be able to do whatever the hell you want because you'll have the defense on their heels guessing. Run the damn football. Run. Hell, run to Kansas City, Kansas, and then back to Arrowhead and hope to win. It's a hostile environment on the road this time of year. You cannot turn the ball over and expect to have a chance to win. You just can't. So no turnovers today. Hell, look at Cleveland yesterday on the road against the Packers from Lambeau Field on Christmas. Hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Cleveland turned the ball over 3 times in the first half. Those 3 Baker Mayfield interceptions led to 21 Packer points, and the Browns lost by 2. So don't put yourself in a hole. But if you do, once again, potentially with another slow start, just find a way. Just find a way. Do what you got to do to get out of it. And, of course, pick up that W in the end. Got to be able to capitalize, though, of any Kansas City turnovers on defense, though, too. If, in fact, you get any, defense has to bring the steel curtain down, but the Steeler offense will begin this game first out on the field with the Chiefs on the kickoff, right to left, and we're underway. And we'll have a touchback, 1st and 10 for the black and gold from the 25-yard line. Left to right across your television screen, radio and audio dial. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And here comes the future Hall of Famer and Big Ben Roethlisberger. See what the Steelers draw up here to begin the game. You got to take care of business yourself. The rest will sort itself out, especially what's going on right now around the league. As mentioned, Pittsburgh, as this game begins, they're no longer on the outside looking in. They are the number 7 seed in the AFC playoffs after both the Chargers and Ravens lost once again earlier today. 1st and 10 from the 25. Ben under center going to toss it near side of Najee Harris. And he's going to lose 2 yards in the backfield. Tackle for loss, 2nd down and 12, as it will be a roller coaster of a ride down the stretch, to say the least, because right now some teams are okay taking control, and then the others, it's like, honestly, what the hell are you doing? But I'll digress on that topic now that we're underway for the time being. We'll get more into that with what's going on, as there are, once again, things going on coming up at halftime. But in the end of the day, though, for this Steeler-Chief matchup, turnovers and special teams might be the difference once this game is settled. Pass complete, Deontay Johnson for a Steeler 1st down. What a catch by 18. Ben laid it out for him. He went up for it. Left foot, drug the route, and that's a catch. That's a big 1st down pickup for the Steelers. On 2nd and 12 from the 23, they now officially have a 1st and 10 from the 41. So an 18-yard catch. Another handoff, Najee Harris. Nowhere for him to go. Stuffed the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Injuries and COVID today. An issue for both of these teams. Pat Freiermuth and Chris Wormley out with injuries. Presley Harvin Steelers punter is out with a personal matter. So Corliss Waitman off of the New England Patriot practice squad will in fact punt for the Steelers today. Tommy Townsend, the Chiefs punter, he's going to step in for his brother Johnny and kick for Kansas City as well. In his absence, once the Chiefs get on offense, Tyreek Hill will play. However, as Ben pump fake 2nd and 10, it's going to be incomplete and 10 for James Washington. Tyreek Hill will play. Activated off the COVID-19 reserve list yesterday. However, once Kansas City is out on offense as well, Travis Kelce out, along with Devin Bush out on the Steelers defense. So in their absence, who steps up? But we're underway on CBS with Hello Friends, Jim Nance, and Tony Remo on the call, along with myself, of course. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Something's got to give, so we'll see, as always, what does here. Big 3rd and 10 for the Steelers. Out of the gun, trips near side. Ben going to go down on the sack, and not a good start for Pittsburgh here this afternoon. 4th and long, and Waitman on the punt for Pittsburgh in favor of Preston Harvin, who is out once again with a personal matter. They brought 4. All starts up front. You got to be able to block the run, which they can't do. Got to be able to block to open up the play action. Ben doesn't even have any time to throw, and he goes down the sack, and now Kansas City on the return from the 10. Mecole Hardman, about 10, 12 yards or so. Be 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. So they will have Tyreek Hill, but they'll be without Travis Kelce. So we'll see how the Steeler defense plays. Of course, Devin Bush out, but still at backer. You have TJ Watt, Joe Schobert, Alex Highsmith, and Big Bob Robert Spillane. Melvin Ingram, the former Steeler, now Chief, because he thought he was being held hostage. He's now volunteering for the Chiefs after that trade. But Pittsburgh with a 3-and-out. Drive stalled. They did get a first down. I'll give them that much. But you got to be able to continue your momentum and capitalize off it. They couldn't. They punt. So we'll see what Kansas City does when we return. But coming up at halftime, as always, we'll have first half stats and scores. We'll update this crazy Week 16 that's already underway with everything that's happened from Thursday night to the doubleheader yesterday on Christmas. Once again, hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas and we'll have a Happy New Year. And then also preview next week, Week 17, into the New Year. So Steelers, Chiefs underway. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. And if Kansas City wins, they'll clinch the division. They're going to be in the playoffs, whether that's as a division winner or a wild card anyway. Pittsburgh, right now it seems like they're, because of the season sweep, they lost to Cincinnati, and they're 1-0 versus both Cleveland and Baltimore, who they play the next 2 weeks as well. That's why I said if they can take care of business themselves, the rest will sort itself out, they'll be all right. You put yourself in a hole, though, you're going to be asking for a few favors. And whether you get those or not, well, we'll see. But it looks like Cincinnati's going to win the division unless, something crazier happens. We got a lot of football left to be played, so anything, of course, can happen because that's why the game is played. It's not decided on paper, it's decided on the field. And, we'll get to the playoffs a few weeks from now with whoever's in and then whoever's out. But, Pittsburgh, it seems like the only chance they're going to have is to be a wild card, whether that's 5, 6, or 7. Probably going to be 6 or 7. I'd honestly rather be 7 right now because Tennessee's 2 and Cincinnati's 3. You go on the road to the Titans who you just beat, whereas if you play Cincinnati again, maybe third time's a charm, and that's happened before. They've lost to them in the regular season and go on the road in the playoffs and beat them. Okay, but with what they're doing, a lot of teams are up and down, not consistent, but come playoff time, I would hope everybody's going to be playing their best football. But 1st and 10, Mahomes going to throw complete to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. and nowhere to go on that. He's second down and 10. So, two young running backs from the SEC in today's game. Clyde, I mean, he's battled injury. He's in his second year, but still for the most part, a rookie because he hasn't hit his full potential yet. And Najee, I mean, even with all his all-purpose yards this year, with almost 1,000 yards rushing and then also being able to catch the ball in the backfield, which both can do. If both these teams can find a running game, open it up, what defense bends doesn't break, it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Hoping for a good game, along with a Steeler win, hopefully. So I said, you got to take care of your own business first off, and then if you don't, well, maybe get some help, but maybe you can help out somebody else too. If it comes down to it. But in the meantime, 3rd and 7 from 30. Mahomes complete. Tyreek Hill on the reception at the 40-yard line for gain of 10 to number 10. And a 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. The only other games on right now with Steelers, Chiefs are, in fact, the Broncos and Raiders and Bears, Seahawks. And then we have Sunday Night Football still come later on tonight with Washington, Dallas, Monday night, tomorrow night, Miami, New Orleans. We'll discuss the week and preview next week a little bit later on, but we've already had with Thursday and the doubleheader yesterday, full NFL slate this Sunday as well. Kansas City, 11-yard reception, 1st and 10 again, so starting to make it look easy against the Steeler defense. Who's going to step up, especially in absence of Devin Bush, who, really hasn't done a whole lot this year, but still, that's a big hole in the middle of the defense. I mean, Schobert and Highsmith have played well. Spillane, the Steelers on defense need him to play like he played last year in absence of Devin Bush because of that injury. So we'll see how that happens. But Mahomes complete, and that's Blake Bell, the former OU quarterback, now playing tight end in the NFL on the reception. Just working the sticks, keeping it simple. And another 11-yard reception and another Chief 1st down. So just a simple pass over the middle and take what the defense gives you, find the hole, and make them pay. And that's what Kansas City is doing right now to the Steeler defense. So a little over 5 minutes in here. Pittsburgh with a punt to begin. And now Kansas City in Steeler territory, 1st and 10 from 38. Mahomes going to hand off. And Clyde for about 6. He's the only one wearing sleeves out there, looks like, for Kansas City on offense. Mahomes has the half, but a full sleeve. It's not really that cold out, but obviously he must be cold or want to try to stay warm. 2nd down to 6. And Mahomes on a quick pass, it's complete. And Tyreek Hill once again gets another Kansas City Chief 1st down. Worst comes to worst for Pittsburgh here, unless they can get a turnover or two, hold them out of the end zone. Unless they decide to go for it as well on 4th down, potentially. I mean, Kansas City's at least going to get 3 on this drive, I would think. They're in field goal range. Mahomes is perfect. Steeler defense can't get off the field, and they can't do jack shit on offense, so what's new? But 1st and 10 from the 25. Trips in a bunch near side, fake the give, and then Mahomes complete. And Darrell Williams going to break a tackle, and then Spillane ends up bringing them down. And another Chief 1st down, so, I mean, just one after another. Just jabbed them. Middle of the defense with Devin Bush out. And T.J. Watt really, along with Cam Hayward up front, not making a big impact just yet. Still early. A lot of football left, no doubt about it. The middle of the field's wide open. And a screen complete to Williams. They're going to wrap him up in the backfield. Nice tackle by 93, Joe Schobert. And now 2nd and 11 officially. But Kansas City's knocking on the door. Yeah. Not a good start. But once again, what's new? It's been like this all damn year. Just got to find a way. Find a way, take care of business, and you'll be all right. You don't want to have some other team be your right-hand man and do all the dirty work for you. 2nd and 11, Mahomes incomplete, and 10 for Mecole Hardman. And good coverage by Pittsburgh there, but Mahomes, I mean, as he throws his first incompletion there on that pass. Really, unless he was going to turn the ball over, he put it in a good spot for his receiver to make a play. It's just a little too much, and it fell incomplete. So now they got a 3rd and 11, needing the 2 from the 13. They're going to work out an empty set. Pittsburgh jumps offside, so here's a free play. And Mahomes, it's going to be picked off in the end zone by Kello Witherspoon, but they'll replay the down and have a 3rd and 6. So, well, at least he picked it off because they didn't blow it dead, but they'll replay it 3rd down. You sure it wasn't a false start there, Zebras? No, Cam Hayward jumped. That hard count by Mahomes. He's as, good as it gets in that regard, along with Rodgers. And even Brady. And a free play doesn't hurt them. They get a free 5 yards out of it, even though with the interception. And here we go again. 3rd down and 6. Mahomes looking to throw. It's going to be caught, but the Steeler defense going to hold. He'll be a yard short, 4th and 1. And unless they go for it, which looks like they will, Kansas City's going to have to kick a field goal. They're going to go for it. 4th and 1. If Pittsburgh can get off the field, okay, and then have the length of the field to drive to do something. And if you have to punt, I'll take it. If you can get off the field here real quick, just don't jump off sides. They'll run the fullback, and it's a 1st and goal at the 1 now. So, a 1-yard run on 4th and 1 and another Chief 1st down. That's what this drive's been. It's been 1st down, 1st down, 1st down. And then Edmonds and Minka came up a little late, but he had to stay back in case, of course, Mahomes was going to keep it for himself and have a man wide open back of the end zone. So 1st and goal now, they hand off again, and it looks like they get in on that. No, they signal him short right at the inch line. Be 2nd and goal from there. They'll mark it at the half-yard line there. So Kansas City running the football. Millette, he's had a good year. 35 on the stop, taking down Darrell Williams. And then also Highsmith in the area too. So 2nd and goal. Watch a play action. Watch for a play action trick play potentially for Kansas City here. 2nd and goal. That's if they don't run it, but they'll probably continue to run it, I would think. They will. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to break a tackle and then walk into the end zone. They had him wrapped up, and then hopefully those Steeler defenders are okay. Big hit. And then he broke it. And as Clyde used to play electric bass, now he's scoring touchdowns in the NFL. Kansas City strikes first, and They lead it by 6 pending this upcoming extra point. Yeah, Spillane and Highsmith, they wrapped him up, and somehow he snuck out like a little fucking rat. And Jesus Christ. Walked in for 6. Touchdown, Kansas City. And with Butker out, the extra point's going to be up and good. 7-0 Chiefs with 4:07 to play in this opening quarter. So, Pittsburgh had 1 first down on their opening drive and a punt. I don't know how many. I'll look here in a second. I'll pull up some stats and scores. Officially, how many first downs Kansas City had on that drive, but it seemed like every time they had a chance to get a first down, they got a first down. First down, first down, first down. Steeler defense couldn't get off the field. Chiefs drive a good 80 yards and take about 6 minutes of time. And because of a few missed tackles in the middle of the defense wide open, the whole entire drive, the Chiefs end up walking in for 6. So, touchdown Chiefs. Yeah. Of course, Pittsburgh, another slow start. Down on the road. Haven't played well on the road all year. So, once again, what's new? Gonna have to find a way. Just find a way. I don't care what it's going to take. Just find a way. It's still early. Still a lot of football left, but once they get it back here on offense, offensively, they're going to have fun running game because, you look at Kansas City. They worked in, and it's balance and consistency. And it's run to pass, pass to run. They worked in Clyde Edwards-Helaire along with Darrell Williams. Got the ball to Tyreek Hill a few times. 10 for Hardman, but no catch. They go to Blake Bell, who's in absence, stepping up for Travis Kelce today, who's out on the COVID list after a big game last week in the overtime win for the Chiefs against the Chargers. There's a few common opponents with Pittsburgh and Kansas City. Of course, the Chiefs, as Pittsburgh beat Buffalo week 1, Kansas City lost at home to the Bills. Pittsburgh lost to the Raiders, though, whereas the Chiefs blew out the Silver and Black both times. Pittsburgh lost twice to the Bengals. Kansas City plays Cincy next week. Of course, along with the Broncos and Chargers as well, Kansas City's beat both of them. Tennessee, though, as it's been 2 months since the Chiefs have lost. Pittsburgh just beat the Titans last week, so there's really no wiggle room. There's no in-between on what's going on right now with these two teams, but as mentioned earlier, Kansas City's won 7 straight. That has to speak for something. They're the number 1 seed, going to try to stay atop the AFC. They win today, they win the division. Only number 1 seed in AFC and NFC will get a first-round bye. That's how it was last year for the first time ever. That's how it's going to be again this year and as we move ahead into the future. But Pittsburgh, another slow start. Who would have thought? And on the road, they haven't played well on the road this year. They have not played well on the road this year. They only have 2 wins. And they were both by less than 7 points. They beat Buffalo by 7 and beat Cleveland by 5. So, as mentioned earlier, expect a close game. First and 10 from the 25 of the Steeler offense. Got to find a running game with Najee Harris. They're going to run a flea flicker. Ben going to go deep near side, and it's going to be picked off at midfield. Jesus fucking Christ. And 10 for 14, Ray McLeod, and my God. What did I say about turnovers? You cannot turn the ball over. Just I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not. Just at this rate, it's not worth it right now. Not right now, it's not. But we're going to be on another road to Heart Attack City today, it looks like again, so we'll save whatever the hell is going to come out of my mouth today for a little bit later on. Defensively, though, they got to get the hell off the field. Maybe they can get a turnover themselves and try to capitalize off of that. Pittsburgh jumps off sides again. Penalties and turnovers. What the hell are you doing? Jesus Christ. 1st and 5 now for the Chiefs. My God. Hard. It's been very hard for the Steelers this year. There's no consistency. First and 5 from the 44. Mahomes down the middle has a man, and it's going to be dropped by Pringle. They say incomplete, and it is incomplete rather than a catch and a fumble. And we got a winter wonderland in the Pacific Northwest with Seattle on top of Chicago 7-0. There's our first update. Not on CBS. We still have postgame on Fox. So they're going to show some highlights from all the games already having been played this week. And then, like I said, only 3 games on right now with this, that Bear-Seahawk, and then Bronco-Raider matchup that's tied at 0 as they near the end of the first quarter. So that's tied at 0, and then both the Chiefs and Seahawks lead the visitors by 7. But it's snowing, not raining, snowing in Seattle. Third down and 2. 3rd and 2 for Kansas City here. Just odd for an NFL game, at least. I know a few years back in the Apple Cup, they had snow. That's complete to Pringle. Another first down for the Chiefs. Jesus Christ, all the 1st and 10 of the 22. Obviously, it's cold enough to be snowing compared to rain, but it has to be the first time in a while that it's snowed and the field's covered and it's coming down. Snowed at home for a Seahawk home football game. I know it snows, I'm no weatherman, but I know it snows whenever it's and wherever it's going to snow at. And there's nothing we can do about it. That's a hold. That is a fucking hold. And there's a penalty, or a fumble, when there should be a penalty. And the Chiefs recover. You throw the clear offsides a few times, no doubt about it. But when there's a clear hold right in front of you, how is that not a hold? And then Mahomes still gets hit. And then the Chiefs recover it. So whether it was going to be a throw and then an incomplete pass or a fumble on the hit, Kansas City's going to maintain possession and it'll be 2nd down. That's a hold, though. That's clear. You got to call it. It's a 10-yard penalty and a 1st and 20. 2nd and 10, though. Complete out of the backfield. And Darrell Williams going to be pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And I understand with penalties, as I always say, with the officials, at some points in time, yeah, they try to control the game, it seems like. But when it's a clear penalty, call it. You got to call it down the middle to begin with. When it's an obvious penalty, call it. But if not, let them play in the end. They're letting them play, but when you're standing right there and then you look the other way, I mean, come on now. 1st and goal from the 5. And Kansas City going to try to capitalize off of this pick. Has all day to throw. And then he finds a man in Byron Pringle in the end zone wide open for a touchdown. Kansas City on top 13-0 with 1:05 to play in this opening quarter. Another slow start for Pittsburgh. But guess what? Last time they were on the road, they were down 29-0 against the Vikings. And if they would have done a little bit more early, they would have won that game. Because, of course, Minnesota abandoned the run. I wouldn't expect Kansas City to do that today by any means, but you can't turn the ball over. You could not turn the ball over. Extra points up and good, 14-0. Jesus Christ. Just climb in the hole and blow your brains out at this rate. You got to find a way, though. Offensively, you cannot turn the ball over. You got to find a running game. It starts there. And then you have to get off the field on defense. You can't let them drive and pick up first down after first down after first down and not give up those 14 points and expect to have a chance to win. Or at least be in the game, for God's sakes. I mean, come on now. Like, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, as I said earlier, there's not much to be said, so I'm not really going to say much else. I'm not. They're doing it to themselves. And until they figure it out and find a way, whatever it's going to take, here we are, stuck like a sitting duck treading fucking water. So, just very frustrating. Very frustrating right now for Pittsburgh. You get one first down. Okay? One first down on your opening drive, and you have to punt. Then you run one play, and you throw an interception. And then you allow them to drive another 2.5, 3 minutes or so and score another touchdown. Steelers have one first down, whereas the Chiefs have 9 more than that at 10. So, just time possession will be key. No doubt about it. Got to get the field on defense, but even with not having the ball on offense yet, you still can't turn it over. You got to do something. So we'll see if they can when we return. The answer is probably not, though. But we'll see. I remember the last time these two teams played. After the playoff game in which that locker room video got out. It was either 2018 or 2019. It was a few years ago now at this point. It turned into a shootout in the second half, whereas Pittsburgh was also down early. Kansas City was putting it to them. And then the Steelers came back, and then they still ended up losing by about a touchdown or so because, they didn't do enough early on. Ray McLeod on the return. And Pittsburgh 1st and 10. Mahomes just tied a Chief record for most passing touchdowns at Arrowhead Stadium. Needs one more to break that. As we saw, our record broke yesterday as well on Christmas with Aaron Rodgers breaking and becoming the Packers franchise all-time passing touchdown leader, surpassing Brett Favre. As his 3 touchdowns were off of 3 Baker Mayfield interceptions. Those led to 21 Packer points, and the Browns lost by 2. You cannot turn the ball over, especially on the road this time of year, and expect to have a chance. But, as Roethlisberger has said, and as I've said too, if you can take care of business yourself, you'll be all right. The rest will sort itself out. The Steelers, they have a pulse. They're there. But what are you going to do with it? A yard on that game, 2nd down and 9. This will probably do it for the first quarter. Ben, quick bubble screen complete near side of Deontay Johnson, who's going to get a Steeler first down. So, okay, there's at least another first down. They're showing some signs of life. Gets out of bounds, so clock's going to stop. Now it's going to roll. And that should do it for the first quarter. And they'll have a 1st and 10. Down 2 scores to begin the second, as we'll near halftime here momentarily. But at the end of one, Kansas City leads Pittsburgh 14-0. Ben Roethlisberger is 1 of 3 for 18 yards passing. One of his 2 incompletions was an interception. The Chiefs capitalized, so keep that 7 in the back of your head when we see the final score. Patrick Mahomes is 10 of 12, 99 yards passing, and that touchdown off the interception to Byron Pringle can. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has the rushing score, 5 carries, 11 yards for him, and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 3 carries, 0 yards rushing. Stuffed the line of scrimmage on every single play. And make it Ben now, 2 of 4 for 27. And both completions are to Deontay Johnson, who has those 2 catches for 27 yards. As we hit the end of the first quarter, Byron Pringle, 3 catches, 34 yards and touchdown. Darrell Williams out of the backfield, as he also has a couple carries for a few yards as well. 3 catches, 30 yards receiving. Tyreek Hill, 2 of 19. Blake Bell, in absence of Travis Kelce, catch for 11 yards. Kansas City just making it look easy. Taking what the defense gives them. Middle of the defense is wide open. Just first down, just working the sticks. And they're balanced. Pittsburgh needs to be balanced, and they need to be more consistent. I'm not going to mind, the deep shot or the trick play with that flea flicker, but you got to execute it. You can't turn the ball over. Turnovers. Penalties and turnovers right now are killing the Steelers. Plain and simple. End of story. There's nothing else to be said about that. There's not. There really isn't. Penalties and turnovers are killing the Pittsburgh Steelers. But right now, at least they got another first down there to close out the quarter. They got something good going, it seems like, potentially. So don't fuck it up. Come on, man. We got a new State Farm commercial with Mahomes and Rodgers. Looks like they're hanging out, throwing some axes. Hopefully the Steeler defense can axe Mahomes and get themselves back in this game. But Steeler offensively, they're going to have to move the ball downfield just like Kansas City's making it look easy against Steeler defense right now and do something. What we saw with the Browns yesterday, but the Browns are the Browns. They couldn't axe Aaron Rodgers, though, either. So, penalties and turnovers. I'm telling you, penalties and turnovers. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 31 to begin the second quarter. Down 14 here on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. 1st and 10 as they'll switch sides. Now, right to left for the Steelers. Crush television screen right in on O'Dowd. They fake the end around Chase Claypool. And they're run a screen out of the backfield, complete Najee Harris. That goes for about 5 yards. So second down and medium for the black and gold. But, man, just we got to do something. Come on. Find a way. Just find a way. Keep it simple. One play at a time. One drive at a time. Standard is the standard. Do what you got to do. Second down and 5, handoff, Najee Harris. Why did you wait to have the hole open? You could have busted it out near side and probably picked up a first down on that, but yet you only get a yard, and now it's 3rd and 4. But I'm not running the football today. They are. Jesus Christ. And Ben, it'll be almost picked off again, incomplete. At least they'll switch field and play field position now and punt again. But you got to get off the field on defense. You can't allow them to drive on you like this all game. If you don't want to play football, go dig some trenches, because that's exactly what you're fucking doing anyway. So just, oh my God. Cordell Stewart on the punt for the Steelers. And a good punt. shit. Took a bad bounce into the end zone. Touchback. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Chiefs. So we'll get back to it here early second quarter momentarily with the commercial break. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. And we'll see if the Steeler defense can get off the field. Man, just might be one of those days again, folks. Might be one of those days. We'll see. Still a lot of football left, no doubt about it. But as I said last week, they obviously just like playing from behind and playing catch up. They just, it seems like, love being in a hole by themselves, and then that gives them a reason to find a way to get out of it. And yeah, it makes for good TV, no doubt about it, but not on the heart by any means. Just it wouldn't be a problem whenever, you know, it's once in a while, but you make a habit out of it and it's all the damn time. It's like, come on now, you know? Just, and like I said earlier too, not a good road team. The Chiefs haven't lost since the week before Halloween. The Steelers haven't won on the road since Halloween. Okay? So got to find a way. Just find a way. I don't care what it's going to take. Whatever the hell happens, happens. Yeah, no doubt about it. It is what it is. But, man, just very frustrating once again. Very frustrating. And with the penalties, I mean, there really haven't been a lot. I mean, clearly offsides, no doubt about it. There was one, though, on a offensive hold for the Chiefs there on that last or next to last drive. One of the two times they drove and scored. It was the fumble play they recovered. I thought, everybody has their own opinion, but I thought it was a hold because it was from my vantage point, a clear penalty. The thing with penalties, though, holding happens on every play. Matter of fact, they call it or not. Okay? But they didn't. You move on, you live with it, and you continue to play. So, hand off Darrell Williams. That goes for about 6, maybe 7. Second down is short for the Chiefs here. But if it's a penalty, call it. If not, don't let them play. End of story. Okay? That's how penalties are. That's how penalties should be called. And that circles back to, like I said, with the officials sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, you know, games on the line or a penalty here or there to, you know, whether we think it's a screw over whoever or not. Don't try to control the game. You're not playing. You're officiating it. Let the players play. 2nd and 2 from the 28. Mahomes complete for another Chief first down. Jesus Christ. You cannot get off the field. We got an update. What do we got? Okay, we saw the Seahawks touchdown. Now we're going to see a Raider touchdown. And all 3 home teams are on top right now. Actually, I take that back. The Bears have tied it up at 7. But at least all the home teams, minus everybody, I should say, minus the Steelers and Broncos, have points scored right now. They're getting shut out. Darrell Williams, another first down run. Just the Steelers are going to be in for it if this keeps up. I mean, hell, they already are. And if he would have cut back as soon as he got it, he might be off to the races right now. He had a big hole and green grass in front of him, and they run it again. Out past midfield they go. Another average gain for 5, and 2nd and 5 for the Chiefs. And actually, once again, take back what I just said. All 3 road teams are trailing right now because the Seahawks just scored. So 14-7 Seattle on top of Chicago. Raiders 7-0 against Denver. And then Pittsburgh, of course, on a slow start, getting shut out on the road. 14-0 Kansas City. 2nd and 5 from the 48. Mahomes, another completion with 11-11 to play in this first half. So say your prayers. But Pringle on the catch. Be 3rd down about 2.
And all of a sudden, as it's coming back, trying to get healthier, on game day, can you go, or do you need to do something, it's like taking a lead or something. You need to take something.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 for Kansas City.
It's there. And you're still playing with it. So certain things you get hit, you got to move and stretch, and all of a sudden, it's like a sharp pain that hurts you. You can play through it, but it's really painful.
Guess what they're going to get on this play? A first down. 3rd and 2. Play clock winding down. They get it off. Mahomes going to step up, and it's going to be caught. Jesus Christ. Mecole Hardman down to the 30. Into triple coverage, and he comes down with it. Mahomes just flat out right now picking apart the Steeler defense. And rightfully so, because they can't get to him. Credit up front. They can't cover. They can't get off the field. They can't. All 3 phases right now. Can't do a damn thing right. They can't. 1st and 10. And Mahomes gets hit as he gets rid of it, but has Josh Gordon open, but he overthrew him out of bounds a little bit, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. And talk about penalties against the Steelers. I'm surprised they didn't throw in there for a late hit on Cam Hayward on Mahomes, but at least they're letting him play, Take it for what it's worth, or that wasn't 97, it was 57, excuse me. 2nd down and 10, but still, a roughing the passer, a late hit, yeah. Maybe, but good no call. Let them play, and they are. Handoff Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He gets to the 26 for 5. Another 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5 for Kansas City. Can you at least force a field goal? Can you at least get off the field right now and, have a chance to potentially get the ball back before halftime with 3 timeouts and 2-minute warning? Because you look at the time possession. Kansas City with 2 long touchdown drives, 3rd time to charm right now. They're just, there you go. There's that. Swear to God, I'm bugged. But from the 26, 3rd and 5. And Mahomes is going to roll out, has all day, and it's going to be caught and dropped, incomplete. 10 for Gordon. The Kansas City with their NASCAR offense, they got a few greats on that offense with NASCAR names, but not able to execute and get to the finish line on that. And at least they get off the field. And the Chiefs are on to kick a field goal here. Elliott Fry from 44 yards out. Kicks up and good. Make it 17-0 Chiefs on top of the Steelers with 8:45 to play in this first half. The thing that sucks right now is the Chiefs are going to get the ball to begin the second half. Can you at least do something before halftime? I'll take anything. I'll take 3 points. I want a touchdown, but I'll take 3 points if it comes down to it. Because then you're down by 2 scores again. But you can't get it in the second half and, start trading field goals and touchdowns back and forth because you're not going to win it. Time's going to run on you by that point in time. Do something. Come on now. Find a way. Do what you got to do. You got to score some points on this next drive. You've had a few drives and 0 points to show for. Whereas the Chiefs have also had a few drives, capitalizing off a turnover as well, and they have 17 points. So other than yourself, because you need to take a cold, hard look in the fucking mirror and get your head out of your ass and play football, do something. Who says you can't be doing what they're doing right now? You got to find a running game, though. It starts up front. You got to be able to block the run, open up the pass, and defensively, they got to get the hell off the field. They do there. At least they forced them to a field goal, and it was another touchdown. Because 21-0 is worse than 17, no doubt about it. It's not golf, but you got to do something, and you can't turn the ball over again. So, who says you can't go home? They'll be heading home, win or lose, to play their final home game next Monday night against the Browns next week. But today, you got to take care of business yourself. And first off, you got some help before this game even kicked off. You're sitting in the playoffs now. But they just like playing from behind. They like playing catch-up. They do. I don't know if Hines is telling them to do that purposely or not, but they like playing catch-up. They do. They like putting themselves in a hole and finding a way out. So, it's like fucking Pac-Man. They run around, not being able to do anything until they get to the finish, and if they beat the game, they win. But from the start until they find a way, they're getting 8. They are. But like I said, who says you can't be doing what they're doing right now? Because, yeah, they've controlled the clock. Time possession, Kansas City's, as the ball falls off the tee, gonna need another start me up on that. Come on now. Just gotta do something. You know? Just do something. Maybe it's special teams. I had said earlier, I believe turnover in special teams, once this game settled, is going to be the difference. Did I not? Yes, I did. I know I did. The Steelers, a few blocked punts on the road this year, but in the return game, kickoffs and punts, touchback anyway, first time for 25. You have not had any big returns to put yourself in good starting field position, let alone score any touchdowns, by God. So, I mean, just... Well, we'll see what they got here. 1st and 10 from the 25. Why don't you go to Claypool? You haven't gone to him yet. See if he can get back to what he was doing before he... Well, Najee Harris run the damn football. A couple big stiff arms. Nice big 18-yard run. And a 1st down and 10 for Steelers. So, yeah, run it. Back to basics. I'd say, of course, go to Freiermuth, but he's out. You know, they're going to miss him, I feel like, today. Hopefully they'll get him back ASAP. But, yeah, find a running... But, yeah, Claypool, I think he's getting on all of Steeler Nation's nerves. Out of the pistol, they hand off. Once again, Najee Harris for about 3, maybe 4 yards to the midfield. 2nd down and 6. You know, go to him. See if he can get out of his slump that he's in and, you know, get back to, you know, I was about ready to say there, back to who he was before he sort of started his downhill trend the past few weeks. But offensively still, whoever has the ball, you cannot turn it over. It's the small little things that always add up in the end. 2nd down and 5, officially from the 49, so they give him 5 yards on that run. And a quick bubble screen is complete to Ray McLeod, and you're back to 3rd and 10. Jesus Christ.
See right here, they press the tongue, and that's what these throws right now. I know the ball gets out, but Sneak just standing right there. See how he works his way up? These guys are pressing.
They're not going to be able to convert here. They're going to have to punt, if I'd have to guess. And then the Chiefs with 3 timeouts and taking up a lot of time, plus 2-minute warning, probably drive and score, of course, to begin the third quarter as well and have a, 25, 30-point plus lead. Ben down the middle, it's complete to Chase Claypool. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. What'd I say? What did I just say? Yeah. Balled it, came down with that's a catch, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. So they do convert. They proved me wrong. So let's continue to do that. Poke the bear a little bit more. Let's piss them off, and maybe they'll find a way. 1st and 10, back to Claypool. 2 back-to-back spectacular catches by 11. And 2 straight first downs for the Pittsburgh offense. Nice back shoulder. He went up for it. And now they're starting to find some rhythm. Now work this damn running game into it and keep it balanced and score some points. How hard's that to do? From the 18 in the red zone for the first time today with under 6 to play in the first half. Ben, well, that's incomplete, almost picked off, intended for McLeod. Don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Keep it simple. Don't do too much. Yeah, it's double coverage.
You got guys on the outside. You got all that space you need to keep doing. That's just going to not work today, General. Press, just keep running.
Second down and 10. Yep, exactly. Pat Freiermuth. They're going to miss him today. What'd I just say? Thank you, Jim Nance. That's incomplete on a slant. 10 for Deontay Johnson. You pass it 4 straight times. 2 for 4. And still no running game. Can you? You're not going to throw it on run it on 3rd and 10. Excuse me. You're going to throw it now. At least they'll get some points, knock on wood, hopefully, from Boswell with a field goal here. Like I said, I'd take the 3, but love a touchdown. They're going to work out on an empty set 5 wide. 3rd down and 10 from the 18-yard line. And Ben on a bubble screen. It's going to be caught, but no blocking. Jesus Christ. Be 4th and 12 and about a 38-yard field goal to come by Chris Boswell here. Jesus Christ. Make it 36. They give them forward progress, no gain, rather than a loss. But you got to be able to block for him once you run whatever the hell you're going to run. Like, just don't stand there. Oh, my God. And a new holder, of course, with Harvin out. It's the punter in Waitman, and the kick's going to be no good. Just fucking shoot me. Just. You can't even kick a field goal. You don't have a penny to show for it. Nothing. Jack, squat.
This flag isn't backwards. It's facing this way because it's moving forward. Just like the planet.
I'm not done, but my God. How hard is it to do one thing? One thing right, for that matter. Not one thing wrong, one thing right. I'm about ready to have fucking flames exit my head. I'd feel safe to say I think everybody's pissed off right now with how they're playing. Because I am. I don't know about you, but I know there's probably a few people out there loving this, including Chief fans. But it's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't do this or that right. You might as well pack up and not even come back out in the second half. Just very frustrating. The Chiefs are on fire, though. They are. Even though they really haven't done much, they're still on fire compared to how the Steelers are playing. 3 scoring drives to begin the game. 17-0 Kansas City. And they're going to have 5:03 plus 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts to do something before halftime. And then also get the ball to begin the second half. So, as I just mentioned, if Pittsburgh doesn't get any points there, I mean, okay, not playing good on the road. They're down 29-0 at Minnesota a few weeks ago on Thursday night. They just like playing from behind. They like playing catch-up again. Kansas City's going to have a 20, 30-plus point lead midway through the third quarter probably. And then this game's over unless they do what they did then, and then they score quick once again, and then again afterwards. Defensively, you got to get some stops. You got to continue to get off the field now. You got to find something. Find some rhythm, some momentum. Capitalize off of something. I don't care what it is. Just find a way. But because of the missed field goal, yeah, from the 26-yard line now, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. And they'll dump it off, and Gore, 8 yards on the catch for him. Be 2nd and short. And just as Kansas City worked the clock on their 3 scoring drives, yeah, they jumped. Is that a penalty? Yeah, that's legal. Okay, so no penalty. Yeah, you can jump. Steelers wanted a penalty, but didn't get it. 2nd down 2. And Gore on the run now. And he'll get a 1st down. And you don't have anything to show for, exactly. Yeah. Yep. It's tough. It's very frustrating. But as I was saying, if they can work the clock here, score again, you know, Pittsburgh's going to be in for it even more than they are right now. 1st and 10, Gore on the give. And to the 39-yard line he goes for 3. Be 2nd and 7, and how about you get a knockout punch on this Chief offense right now? How much is that to ask for right now for the Steeler defense? It is. It's next man mentality. Next man up. 2nd and 7, Mahomes looking to throw. Has all day. Oh my God. First and 10, Kansas City. All day to throw. He even looked back. And then he could have tucked it and ran with it, but then he threw it right at the last second. Right at the line of scrimmage, so no penalty on a legal forward pass. And it goes for a big gain to Gore. And another pass near side. And that goes for 2, maybe 3 yards. So 2nd down. They can wind this to the 2-minute warning. Still have 3 timeouts and a 2nd and 7. Jesus Christ. Actually, Pittsburgh's going to call a timeout. So, we'll have to snap it. So Pittsburgh's going to call the timeouts here. If Kansas City scores, okay, they score. They're going to try to get the ball back and do something before halftime because Kansas City's also going to get it back to begin the third quarter play. So, they're still in it, but once again, another good start. And you got to find a way, and you got to get off the field on defense. You can't allow them to drive like this. Just time and time again. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Highlights of all those games coming up on the Verizon halftime report. That was a game changer. That, as far as like the playoffs and how it affects the AFC, that was a big result for them.
I thought it was over. I really thought if the Chargers won today, because the Bills looked like they were going to win, then it was going to be the Colts Bills and Chargers are going to be the 5, 6, 7.
Second down and 7 after the timeout.
It's just going to be done. And whoever wins the division in Pittsburgh gets in, right? Now, Pittsburgh's division could have 2 teams in.
Yeah, thank you, Tony Romo. We know. Talked about it earlier. We'll talk about it more coming up at halftime as well. But from the 8, 2nd and 7. That's going to be caught by Hardman. That's a hold. And then he's going to get it in the end zone, and they say touchdown. Jesus Christ. At least they're going to have 2 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning with 2:13 to play. So 3 timeouts to do something. And you should have 3 points at least on the board. You know, to be down. Potentially, if you'd score again before halftime, rather than 24-0, you know, 24-3, 24-6, 24-10. But you're getting shut out. So, did he step out? Missed tackle. He's in. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Yeah.
Appears to be right there. Yep. That little reach out.
Pittsburgh doesn't think it is. They can challenge, but all scoring plays are, in fact, reviewed, so that should stand. And another passing touchdown from Patrick Mahomes in this first half.
8 yards out.
Just, come on, man. Do something.
He was 14 for like 16. 15 for 18.
Odds are stacked against them. We'll see if they can get out of this hole once again. But here we go. That's a touchdown. I mean, if it's not, they wind at 2 minutes. It's a 1st and goal at the half-yard line, and they probably punch it in anyway. Now, Pittsburgh can force a field goal out of it, or hell, even get a turnover. Okay, so be it. This might be the play of the game once we, you know, look back on it. But that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. Nobody gives a shit what you think or say, Tony Romo, so shut the hell up. You couldn't cut it in the NFL as a quarterback, so that's why you're broadcasting. But here I sit as well, so I'll digress. And it's touchdown, extra point, no good, 23-0. They missed it. Okay, at least the Steelers have some sign of life. They can try to capitalize off of something now. Extra point's no good. So wind playing a little bit of a factor with both kicks in both end zones, hooking wide left. So extra point's no good. You got to do something off of that though now. Will they? Can they? I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. I mean, they can, but will they? Yeah, no. I'd be shocked. The way they have played so far, today and all season, especially on the road, like this, yeah, no chance. Not yet. Not yet. I mean, yeah, somebody said a little bit ago, as I mentioned too, they started this game off in the playoffs. They beat Buffalo, but Buffalo looks like, you know, because if they can control their own destiny, they're going to win the East after they just split with the Patriots earlier. It's going to come down to, you know, I mean, Indy's going to be in if they win a few more games. There's still going to be 2 more games left for everyone after this week. But the Titans have the head-to-head, so it's going to come down to tiebreakers. Okay? So, and we'll get into the standings and shit later, but like, unless Tennessee stumbles and Indy wins out, like, okay, the South's still going to get 2 teams in. It's just a matter of fact who's going to win the division. You know, Kansas City's at 1, Tennessee's 2, Cincy is in fact 3, and Buffalo's 4. Colts 5, Patriots 6, Steelers 7. But like I said, I'd rather be sitting at 7. The thing is, it's going to come down to the end. It's going to come down to tiebreakers, who beat who. And then standing-wise, who has a better record in division, etc. from there. But there's still a lot of football left. Like that's why I said, if you can take care of business yourself, you'll be all right. You know? Like if they beat the Chiefs today, which are down 23, so don't expect much anytime soon. And then the Chiefs beat the Bengals next week, and you beat the Browns and beat the Ravens, you're still going to have a chance to win the division. But, like I said earlier, for the most part, Pittsburgh's going to get in as a wild card if they get in. But you got to take care of business yourself, first off. I would like Pittsburgh, of course, to make the playoffs, no doubt about it. They have a chance. They actually take a look at it right now. And as I said earlier, I'd rather want to play Tennessee in the wild card than Cincinnati. I would, because you just beat them, whereas you lost twice to the Bengals. But even with losing to the Bengals in the regular season, you've gone to Cincinnati and won the playoffs before. So, take that for what it's worth. But there's a lot of teams right now still on the outside looking into, so it's going to be crazy. The NFC is getting figured out. It is. They have, I believe, 4 of their 7 in officially, clinching playoff berths now, as after the Rams beat the Cardinals earlier today, both LA and Arizona after they lost last night at home against the Colts, they're both in now along with Green Bay and Dallas. So it's just going to be, who's winning divisions and who's going to make it as a wild card. As is here in the AFC, as we have the 2-minute warning, Pittsburgh Steelers down 23-0 on the road against the Chiefs. You're just now tuning in. But with what Pittsburgh's doing, it's not looking good, of course, no doubt about it. But once again, if they can take care of business themselves, just find a way. Do what you got to do. Let the rest sort itself out. You'll be all right, and you'll be in. And hell, even with a loss today, there still might be a good chance that they still make the playoffs. Yes. I think I saw somebody say that earlier somewhere too. Because you play Cleveland and Baltimore the next 2 weeks. And if you beat them, as you already have, really the only other team on the outside looking in right now in the AFC playoffs, well, there's a few because there's a 4-way 7-7 tie with 4 7-7 teams. So, you have, actually Cleveland's now 7-8 with a loss yesterday. So take them out. So 3-way tie. And it's Miami who plays tomorrow night. And then Denver and Vegas are on right now. So loser in that game goes home for the most part, you would think. And then, Miami, New Orleans tomorrow night. Both teams 7-7 as well. Crossover Monday night game. Loser goes home, you would think, too. Because it's just going to be too tough down the stretch. Especially for a few teams that have tough schedules remaining to win games. Even though it's not decided on paper, it's decided on the field. So we'll see how it, figures itself out, and we'll get 14-32 in the playoffs come mid-January. But it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. It will be. Pittsburgh, though, today, you got to do something. Just do something. Find a way. Get yourself out of this hole again. And get some points before halftime, please. They'll have a 2nd and 5 from the 30 with 2 timeouts and 2 minutes to play. So out of the gun, Roethlisberger with Najee Harris to his left. One receiver in Deontay Johnson lined up by his lonesome self, but they run a screen. Completes Najee Harris for a yard out of the backfield. 3rd down and 4. Kansas City with 3 timeouts. Go off the field, call timeout, have 2 and a minute and a half to play. Hell, they might even score again before halftime. and then score again to begin the third quarter. And, they might be up by 50. 3rd down and 4. Ben, it'll be caught, and Ray McLeod's not going to get the first down. So if I'm Kansas City, I'm calling timeout. Andy Reid does with 1:26. Pittsburgh's going to have to punt. Chiefs are going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts. 1:20. And, of course, they're already up by 23 to try to do something else. Pittsburgh right now is getting their ass handed to them. They're getting their ass kicked. So if you want to see what an ass whooping looks like, turn on CBS. 4th and 1. Pittsburgh going to go for it? Jesus Christ. If you don't get it, you're going to give them 1:28 in a short field along with 2 timeouts. Hey, here's a touchdown for you rather than making you drive. This might be the play of the game right now. Because if they don't convert on 4th and 1 with 1.5 minutes to play in the first half, down 23, they'll toss it. And Najee Harris, nowhere for him to go. What the fuck are you doing? And the Chiefs are going to have 1, 2, 3, making it look easy like that too. Already up 23. Jesus Christ. And just, yeah, this game's over. This game is fucking over. What kind of play call was that? On 4th and 1, you run a toss. Yeah, Matt Canada up in the booth just going ballistic. Like, dude, you're one of the fucking problems. 1st and 10 from the 31. They have 1:23 and 2 timeouts, already up 23. They score again, score another touchdown to begin the third quarter. They'll be up 37 officially. If you can force 2 field goals, you're back to being down 29 as you were at Minnesota. It's funny how history repeats itself. That's why you punt, you make them drive, but they've been able to drive on you anyway. But once again, here's a short field. Here's an easy score for you. What the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously. Like, you seriously trying to throw this game? Edwards going to get the first down, and Edmonds on the stop, but timeout Kansas City, 1st and 10 when we come back. 42 seconds. They'll have 1 timeout, up 23, and a short field. Just absolutely pathetic. What the hell are you doing? And I guess as Melvin Ingram did make that tackle on 4th and 1, as Pittsburgh would love to have him right now at linebacker, they would have cut him if they didn't trade him, so at least they got some compensation for him. But I guess he was being held hostage. I don't know. But 1st and 10 from the 21. And now Mahomes, Cam Hayward gonna force a throwaway. Just keep doing that. Just don't even get off your block. Just run after him. That's all you have to do. Make him throw it away. Force pressure and maybe capitalize off a turnover. Yeah, the Chiefs are winning up front. They are. Because Mahomes has all day to do whatever the hell he wants. And you got to give credit where credit's due. No doubt about it. But 2nd and 10 from the 20. And the late whistle will have a false start. Yeah, false start. Be on Pringle. Be a 5-yard penalty. Now 2nd down 15 as they'll replay it. So 37 seconds and a timeout for the Chiefs, up 23 on the Steelers. My God.
home to have time to utilize the skill set of the guys outside.
And from the 25 now, 2nd and 15. Mahomes out of the backfield, caught by Clyde. And he'll get those 4.5, maybe 5 yards back out of bounds. So clock's going to stop as well. Be 3rd and 11 officially. Hey, if you can force a kick here, call timeout, have one and no time. I mean, maybe you have a play to heave it, but I doubt it. Or at least get a good return. Just, once again, shaking my damn head. Coming up halftime, though, we'll have first half stats and scores, take around the NFL and what the hell's going on. And on 3rd and 11, as they barely get it off, Mahomes pump fakes. And it's going to be caught and then dropped by Josh Gordon in the end zone, incomplete. Kelly Witherspoon on the coverage, 4th down, and Kansas City on for a field goal. So, like I said, if you can force 2 kicks here, 26 and then 29-0, early 3rd quarter, you're down the same as you were at Minnesota. And then you cut it to 9. You gave up another big play, though, in the second half, as you have all year. The dagger. And then even with another touchdown, you lose. But you got to have a fast start, which they don't always get. And there's no running game. The kick's no good, so they luck out. Kick's no good. All right, so 2 straight missed kicks by Kansas City. That's the only good thing going for Pittsburgh right now. 2 missed kicks by the Chiefs, missed extra point, and a missed field goal. Still 23-0, and you're going to get the ball back 2 timeouts in 18 seconds. So even if you did go for it, 4th and 1 there in your own territory, you get off the field on defense, and now you got to do something on offense with no time, and even with 2 timeouts, only 18 seconds. You got a good drive, potentially. You got 3-4 plays up your sleeve here. You got 2 timeouts. You got to know where you're at, though. You got to get the hell out of bounds. Comes down to it. And, you score points here when you should have at least a field goal already. And then you play in the second half as, you play in the second half. Then, okay, maybe. You're going to have a better chance than you do right now, come 4th quarter. But you got to be able to capitalize. You got to be able to capitalize, because when everything's not going your way, nothing at all is going Pittsburgh's way. Where you have a chance, but then you still don't do anything, well, then it's your own damn fault. But you got to do something. Please do something. Might be a Christmas miracle if they come back and win. 1st and 10 from the 29. Complete to Najee Harris. He's going to break a tackle, get out of bounds. He doesn't. Call timeout. Call timeout. 9 seconds. Call timeout. Be 2nd and 6. You got 1 timeout. Why don't you run a deep out route to the sideline? Or something deep down the middle. They add 1 second back, so 10 seconds. And then call your timeout, and maybe you're in field goal range, maybe you're not. And if you have to heave it, okay. But just keep it simple. Reports, rumors, it's not official until it's official, so you can shut up. 2nd down and 6. I've said with the Roethlisberger, I feel if they find a running game and continue to play good defense, he's got at least another year, maybe 2 in him, if he'd want to play. Timeout again, it's caught. Timeout with 4 seconds, complete to Zach Gentry, who's stepping up for Fryermuth. So both starting tight ends out today. Steelers with a 3rd and final timeout. They'll have a Hail Mary here. Play some hook and ladder. Maybe a quick out route. You get out of bounds 1 second if you're lucky to have another chance, but you probably, got to throw it up, and whatever happens, happens. So 4 seconds, 1st and 10 for the Steelers from the 44. And Ben gets the snap from the center, and Kendrick Green drops back. He'll dump it off. Najee Harris, you got to play hook and ladder. He's going to be tackled at midfield, and time runs out. So the Steelers are getting shut out at halftime on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. No touchdown in the first half in the last 5 games for the Steelers. It's the first time it's happened for them since World War II. It was 1940. It was before the Steagles, for God's sakes. Like, give me a fucking break. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. There's no running game. Ben has to do it all by himself, which he can't do. He can, but he can't. Even with everybody out, somebody has to step up, and defensively, they can't get off the field, and the Chiefs are making it look easy. They're playing like another JV team today. They were getting shut out on the road against the Vikings 2 weeks ago. They came back and made that game in the second half. Still ended up losing, yes. But they're a second half team. They are. They've been that all season. So this game's not over just yet, even though, once again, it feels that way, and it looks like it too. With the Chiefs on top by 23. 23-0 Kansas City, leading the Steelers at halftime. Roethlisberger is 12 of 17, 88 yards passing. His interception went for 6, make it 7. So, 16-0 because of the missed extra point and the missed field goal as well. If he doesn't turn it over there. But if he does, as he did, they have these points. I mean, it's really 27-0, but because of the 2 missed kicks, it's 23. So, yeah, Ben's 12 of 17, 88 yards passing and a pick. Both quarterbacks have been sacked only once, which is a surprise, especially for Pittsburgh up front. I mean, Najee Harris has 8 carries, 29 yards rushing, and then 5 catches, 17 yards out of the backfield. So he's getting there, but it needs to be more consistent. They need to be more balanced. Mahomes is 18 of 25, 205 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns. Darrell Williams, 4 of 25, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 7 of 18 on the score. Derek Gore with a few big runs and a couple big catches as well. As Big Mike Burton, he has a carry for 2 yards. Derek Gore has 2 carries, 5 yards. Gore, 3 catches, 61 yards officially, leading the team in receiving. When your third string running back is leading your team in receiving, you have everything going your way. But that's absolutely pathetic for the Steeler defense to give up that much to him. No offense. But, I mean, come on now. Derek Gore, 3 catches, 61 yards. Pringle and Hardman have the Mahomes touchdowns, 4 for 37 and 2 for 22, respectively. Darrell Williams also has 3 catches, 30 yards out of the backfield. Clyde, 1 for 4. Tyreek Hill, 2 catches, 19 yards. Noah Gray at tight end, 2 catches, 12 yards. Claypool had those 2 big catches on back-to-back plays for 2 straight first downs, 2 catches, 34 yards, but then he's been AWOL since. Deontay Johnson, 2 for 27. Same goes for him since last I read that off, because that hasn't changed. And then Najee Harris, as mentioned on the backfield, has 5 catches, 17 yards. Zach Gentry, 1 for 10 on this last drive, just prior, of course, to halftime. And at halftime, the Chiefs lead the Steelers 23-0. First downs are big, 17-6 in favor of the Chiefs there. Time possessions doubled as well, 20-10 in favor of Kansas City once again. So, the 1 turnover led to points too. It's the little things, folks. It's the basics. It's the fundamentals. They're not playing fundamentally sound football right now. They're not. It's very frustrating. It's like, I don't know how the hell you can, expect to play like this and have a chance and feel good about it, But they like playing from behind. They do. It's been like this all year. Here we are, Christmas time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's just, oh my God. Like, how much more can they, let alone us, take with watching how they play? You know? But at the same time, you're going to continue to pull for them and root for them as much as we ever have anyway. It's just, as we hit the halftime report here, they'll show some highlights, I would hope. There's only 3 games ongoing right now with Steelers, Chiefs, along with Broncos, Raiders, and Bears, Seahawks. So 2 AFC, 1 NFC, with Sunday football and Monday Night Football still to come. We're going to update Week 16, see what's going on, look at the standings. The playoffs are right around the corner. Preview next week as well, into the new year. But just right now for Pittsburgh, it's once again, I circle back around to that meme. You're poking the stick. Come on now, do something. At least last week at halftime, they had 3 points, and they should have 3 points today. Missed field goal, though, on their best drop. Now, in that second half last week, sorry for the technical difficulty there with the buffer disconnect and reconnect, they shut out Tennessee, and they scored 16 unanswered and won by 6. They're going to have to score at least 3, 3.5, 4 scores here with just shutting them out to get back in this game. Find a way to win. Even go back to the Charger game, okay? They had that game lost. How many times? Found a way to win it and then lost it. Yeah, the turnovers. TJ Watt, I haven't said his name until just now. He's a non-factor right now. He is. I don't necessarily say Kansas City's looking like a team that they can't be beat by any means. They're just making it look easy because Pittsburgh, they're not helping themselves. They're not. Yeah, they don't have a running game. Exactly. Thank you. TJ Ward, Bill Cowher, CJ Watt. You should know that. It is a trickle-down effect. When one thing, it's like playing dominoes. One thing's not going their way, well, nothing's going their way. But when everything's going their way, they're high on their horse, and whether they're galloping their way to a win or not, it's just still in the end very frustrating. So, I mean, really, there's not much else to be said. There's not. I don't even know where to go from here. Just one of those days, it is. It's very frustrating. I know I've said that, and I'm repeating myself a few times now, as I always do anyway. And we're gonna. We've just updated some stats. Took a look around the league. Doesn't look like they'll show any highlights, but I know for the most part what's happened this week. I'll try to relay that the best I can to you. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. As I myself am your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin Luke 96. So thank you for tuning in and listening. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Steelers, hashtag Chiefs. Check questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. But man, just they don't have anything to show for. They don't. Like James Washington, I think he was targeted once. He doesn't have anything. Ray McLeod, nothing. They're missing Freiermuth, they are. And I think they're missing Chris Wormley up front on defense with Cam Hayward. But TJ Watt, he's, non-existent. They're doing a good job protecting Mahomes. You know, the middle of the defense is open. Devin Bush, even if he was in there, it'd still probably be open anyway. But, you know, Schobert, Highsmith, and Spillane. So, hell, we haven't even talked about the secondary. No Joe Hayden, no Cam Sutton, no Minka Fitzpatrick, no Terrell Edmonds. I mean, Edmonds and Millette and Witherspoon have a few tackles and stops, if you will. But Joe Hayden, Minka Fitzpatrick, hell, Cam Sutton the past month has just disappeared, it seems like. Just somebody needs to step up. They need to find some rhythm, build up the momentum, capitalize on whatever they're going to try to capitalize on, and find a way. You know, all it takes is one spark to start a fire. Kansas City's on fire right now, but Pittsburgh is going to try to come back in the second half and burn son of a bitch to the ground. So we'll see if they can or not. It's not looking like they will by any means, but there's always that but. That because they are a second half team, this game's not going to be over until it's officially over, until there's triple zeros on the clock. Because they like playing from behind. Talking about butts, they like coming back. They do. They like playing catch up. They do. Now, what it is about them, they just absolutely love it. So if that's what it takes, then so be it. You know? Like, there's not really much else to be said in that regard then. But to start the second half, as the Chiefs will receive, they're going to have to get off the field on defense. And at least from the start of this game up until now, the past few Chief drives, they've been able to do that. Even with a touchdown, there was a missed extra point and then a missed field goal. So there's 4 points that should be on top of Kansas City's 23-0 lead, but then added another 7 once we hit a final score with the interception. That lone turnover by the Steelers. By both teams, for that matter, right now. That Kansas City capitalized on. That, you know, Pittsburgh doesn't turn the ball over there. There's 11 points that, you know, Kansas City really shouldn't have. At least the 7. They don't have the 4, but, you know, it's 16-0 then at that point. So, about to kick off this second half. And we'll have Pittsburgh on to kick off. Maybe they catch them off guard and do what Sean Payton did in the Super Bowl against the Colts. He's got a movie coming out, looks like, with Kevin James portraying him, which I don't know how the hell that happened by any means, but Kurt Warner's got his movie out right now, too. They both look good. And 2 football movies with active personnel or just recently retired now in the Hall of Fame type players. First team all time to trail by 23 plus points at half in 3 straight road games in one single season. Back to the Chargers, Bengals, and Vikings, and they lost all 3. So 4th time's a charm. They'll probably lose again here today. But no, maybe they, well, they do kick it deep, but I was going to say maybe. I knew they wouldn't, but just try to catch them off guard. But they don't. They kick it deep, touchback, 1st and 10 from 25 of Kansas City. You got to get the hell off the field. You got to get a stop. You got to get a turnover or 2 if you're lucky enough to get one and capitalize off of it. And whether you do or not offensively, you still got to be able to move the football. They're showing some signs of life there, but play calling still atrocious in some regard. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And somebody needs to step up. Exactly. They're back to playing as a JV football team right now. They are. 1st and 10, Kansas City from the 25. Handoff, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's going to break a few tackles. And 7-8 yards on that run, 2nd and short. It's like, you got to go back to the basics. How don't you know how to block? How don't you know how to run? How don't you know how to fucking tackle? Well, you better learn all 3 quick. And also, kick. Because they should have at least 3 points, but because of a missed field goal, they don't. They don't have anything to show for it. They're hitchhiking. They're standing on the side of the fucking road, thumb up their ass, needing help. Are they going to get it? We'll see. 2nd and 3, another handoff up the middle. 3rd and 1. All right, not even a minute in. Kansas City, 3rd and short. See if they can get off the field. If not, well, all hell's about ready to break loose again. And shortly. I'm not going to say next commercial break because I don't know what I'm going to say during this next commercial break. Shortly, we're going to recap this NFL Week 16 and preview next week and take a look at the NFL playoff standings as they sit right now as well. So stick around. Stay tuned. 3rd and 1 out of the eye. Mahomes is going to hand off to the fullback. Got a penalty. We'll see what it is. It might be against the Chiefs. If so, they'll replay it. Darrell Williams, who lined up a fullback, got the give and a first down, but there is a flag on the play. Got an illegal formation. 5 yards, and they'll replay the down. 3rd down and 6. Yep. Take it for what it's worth, but they got to replay the down. They get another shot to stop them. Third down and 6 from the 29 out of the guns. Mahomes. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers bottom of your screen. And TJ Watt gets to him, but, well, down the middle of the field, it's incomplete. Intended for Mecole Hardman. They wanted a penalty, not going to get it. And a minute and a half in, here we go. Got a whole half football left. Pittsburgh gets off the field on defense. Now, offensively, you got to do something. You got to score some fucking points. How hard is that to ask? Well, maybe a little bit of a push by Minka, but he's playing coverage. And the Chiefs are on to punt for the first time today. It's still Townsend, but it's his brother. And it's going to go out of bounds to the 28-yard line, it looks like. 1st and 10, Steelers from there. And we'll take a TV timeout. So Pittsburgh going to try to do something. We'll see if they can. And it starts up front. You got to be able to run the football. Rock the Naj. Run 22. You drafted him in the first round for a reason. He has over 1,000 all-purpose yards this year. Okay? But the running game has to be more consistent. And the offense has to be more balanced. Just take what the defense gives you and do what you got to do to drive downfield, keep it simple, work the sticks. Eventually, you'll hit pay dirt. If not, hopefully you're in field goal range and you'll have to settle for 3. This time around, hopefully you make it. Boswell, he very rarely misses. But both kickers have had issues. So wind a factor because Kansas City's missed 2 kicks with an extra point and a field goal as well. So there's that. But no doubt, Ben's going to have to make some plays. They got to find a running game, though. Have to find a running game. We, haven't seen any of the backs behind Najee. We'll see if they work any of them into the fold or not. Recently, they really haven't. And if they have, it's been only, a couple plays here or there. But just keep it simple and don't turn the damn ball over, I mean, you're still in a good spot because you got a whole hell of a lot of time right now in this second half to, come back and do what you've done recently in situations like this because you like playing like this. You like playing from behind once again. So until, they do something, whatever that's going to entail. If that's a field goal or a touchdown at this rate, I'll take it. So 1st and 10 for the Steelers from the 30-yard line officially. And Ben going to hand off. Najee Harris for a good 8 yards. Second and short. From the 38, second and 2. Ben looking to throw. He has Deontay Johnson, and then he fumbles it. Oh, my God. And then the Chiefs fumble it, but they recover it. And what I say about turnovers, if you're a Steeler fan, you want to just lay down and die at this point. Because that's the catch, and then you try to carry it like a loaf of bread that it's not, and then you fumble it. So that's on you. And now they're going to try to capitalize off of another turnover. Not a damn thing has gone right for Pittsburgh today. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu on the recovery. 1st and 10, Chiefs from the 49. So a 1-play turnover drive and now a 2-play turnover drive. And they scored on the first. See if they can do it again. 1st and 10 from 49. Chiefs hand off. And to the 45 goes DW. And 2nd and 4.
You just mentioned Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the game in the locker room. It is a collarbone.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a collarbone injury. He's going to be questionable return, but regardless if he's going to be out or not, Pittsburgh can't get off the field on defense, and offensively, they just like giving away free Christmas gifts, it seems like. So they still have Williams and Gore, so yeah, thanks for the update there, MILF, but I mean, come on now. It's not going to matter. Got an update. Denver and Vegas, and the Raiders 14-13. So 23-0 here, 14-13 Raiders on top of the Broncos. And then you also have Seattle, I believe, on top of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. It was 17-7 last I saw. But we still got to update everything here shortly, which we'll get to eventually. But another run, and Williams for another 4 or 5 yards. Officially 3, 2nd and 7. But just they're making it look easy. They are. And time possession here at the end is going to be crucial, because even with Pittsburgh not doing anything, Kansas City's controlled the clock very well in their favor, so credit. But you still can't turn the ball over and not get off the field. And a broken tackle, Hardman gets a Chief first down. It's been one up front because, and even on the back end, because Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Hayden and Minka haven't done a damn thing today. They haven't. Mahomes, good block. Yeah. So 1st and 10 Kansas City, but just back to frustration. That's all it is, very frustrating. 1st and 10 from the 27. And Williams going to lower his shoulder, 8-yard run there, 2nd down and 2, but just one of those days. Even with playing from behind, they don't play well on the road. They don't. And they haven't all year. They have 2 wins away from Heinz Field this year, and the last was on Halloween. Okay? And the Chiefs haven't lost since the week before Halloween. Here we are the day after fucking Christmas. And we'll move on. 2nd and 1. Another handoff to DW. They got Darryl Waltrip, the Burton brothers, and Jeff Gordon all on this Chief offense. Come on, man. What the hell? That's not fair. No. Joking aside, Pittsburgh just not playing good football. Not playing good football whatsoever. So 9 minutes and change here in this third quarter. Another 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. They've had about 1 million of those today. Mahomes slant over the middle, complete to Pringle. He's going to break a few tackles and walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. And they capitalize off another Steeler turnover with another touchdown. 29. See if they go for 2. They probably won't. I mean, you're up 30 midway through the third quarter. And this game's been over, and it will soon to be over. Now, if they miss it or do go for 2 and don't get it, Pittsburgh's back to being down in that 29-0 hole. They didn't start hitting their stride until about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter against Minnesota. So they have that to rely on for now, but they're going to kick it. And we've seen a few missed kicks already, but this kick going to be up and good. 30-0 Chiefs. 8:53 to play in the third quarter on top of the visiting black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers, which, as I said earlier, win or lose, if they still can take care of business down the stretch, and then depending on what else happens, they still could potentially sneak in. But we're going to take a look at the playoff picture a little bit later on. But for the time being, we're going to update some stats and scores. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share, chat questions and comments. Super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Ben Roethlisberger is 13 of 18 for 90 yards passing. Has the interception. That last pass that was complete to Deontay Johnson. He ended up fumbling. 2 turnovers. 14 Chief points. They don't turn the ball over. They're still down, getting shut out 16-0. But, you know, they should have at least had a field goal down 16-3 then at that point, you think about it, hypothetically. But, of course, that's not how it played out. This is how it's played out, and they trailed by 30. So it is what it is. Najee Harris, 9 carries, 37 yards rushing. Also has 5 catches, 17 yards out of the backfield. Chase Claypool, 2 of 34. Deontay Johnson, 3 of 29. Harris, 5 catches, 17 yards, as mentioned. Zach Gentry, catch for 10 yards. They're really missing Pat Freiermuth right now. They are. Even though recently they really haven't, gone to him enough, they're, really missing him today. They don't go to the tight ends enough. They don't run the ball enough. They don't go to the tight ends enough on offense. Yeah, to get your playmakers the ball in space, but there's been times it's questionable. It's still, what the hell are you doing? But all home teams in these 3 games right now, all the home teams are on top. But we'll get to that in a second. Meantime, back from break momentarily. Mahomes, as Pittsburgh at least are going to get the ball back, but they haven't been able to do anything anyway, so what makes you think they're going to be able to do something now, even though they are a second-half team, and this is when they start hitting their stride. But the turnovers, penalties and turnovers once again have killed them. Mahomes is 22 of 29, 236 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. 2 to Byron Pringle, who has 5 catches, 53 yards receiving, and those 2 scores. The other to Mecole Hardman, who has 3 catches, 31 yards receiving. Derek Gore has 3 catches, 61 yards. Pringle, 5 of 52, and 2 scores. Darrell Williams, 3 of 30. Mecole Hardman, 3 of 31 in the score. Tyreek Hill, only 2 catches, 19 yards. Travis Kelce's out. How big of a factor would he be right now? I don't know. But they have still gone to the tight ends. Noah Gray and Blake Bell, 3 of about 25 yards total between the 2 of them. Demarcus Robinson, first time I've said his name all day. He has 2 catches, 15 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 1 for 4. And Kansas City will have a touchback, 1st and 10, as they kick off for the Steelers from the 25-yard line. But 30-0. 30-0 Kansas City on top of the Steelers. They're going to give us some early headlines from the games taking place today. Now, this 4 o'clock window into Sunday Night Football, with Monday night sort of coming tomorrow night with Miami and New Orleans. And a must-win for both teams because they're both 7-7. But Week 16 began on Thursday night with a doubleheader yesterday on Christmas. Hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year as well. Next commercial break now, we will in fact get to updating what has happened and what is currently ongoing this NFL Week 16 in this 2021 campaign. Also preview next week, Week 17, for all games to be played next Sunday, January the 2nd, with no more Thursday night football next Monday night, with Pittsburgh hosting Cleveland will be the final Monday night regular season game of the year. They'll have a playoff Monday game 2 weeks from then. But then on top of all that, we'll also take a look at the playoff standings. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, 1st and 10 for the Steelers from the 30-yard line. Handoff, Najee Harris. And a 6-yard run up the middle for him. 2nd down and 4. At least they're sticking to the run game. But, I mean, until they get a spark off of something, here soon you're going to have to start moving the ball a little bit further on downfield. 2nd and 4 from the 36. Ben looking to throw. Complete. Ray McLeod. And he'll get out past midfield in Chief territory for a Pittsburgh Steeler first down. We'll stick with this until we hit a final score. I myself personally, as a Penn State and a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, never, regardless of the outcome, because I always have and always will bleed blue and white and black and gold until the day I die, never turn the game off until it's over with. It's just very frustrating. It's hard to watch at times. It is. Surprised my eyes aren't bleeding at this rate. But another handoff of the middle, 6-yard gain. At least they're starting to find a run game. Hell, he keeps it up, he might have over 100 yards rushing. Be 2nd down and 4 again. From the 41. It's one step forward, but then 2 steps back. You have one good thing going for you. But then you turn it over, hurdle by Harris, and he's going to get another Steeler first down. All right. Dives out of bounds, too. Big, we'll give him about 10 yards on that run. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Pass going to be caught by Chase Claypool. And another 5-6-yard gain. So they're starting to chip away at it. They are. And once again, sorry for the technical difficulty there with the buffer, the disconnect, and the reconnect. But from the 31, 2nd down and 6. Ben going to hand off. There's Benny Snell. All right, they're starting to work the backs in. And he's going to get a first down to the 20, but this might be coming back for a hold as there is a penalty on the play. So here we go. I just said, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You got something good going in your favor. Don't screw it up. Holding 10 yards, replay the down. My God.
He leads the league in touches, which is pretty impressive. Here's
Yeah, that's a hold.
right there.
That's a hold on Kendrick Green.
But there aren't that many times you can say that a rookie's led the league in most touches.
6:06 and counting to play in this third quarter. 2nd and 15 now from the 40. And handoff, Najee Harris. And a nice big stiff arm by him. He's going to get about 4, maybe 5 yards. Be 3rd down, though, and long. Yeah, he called him Grinch this past week. I think we're all going to be Grinches after this game if Pittsburgh doesn't come back to win it. But it doesn't look like they will anyway. Never say never, though. Never quit. Never die. 3rd and 11 from the 36. Ben. Complete and drop. Jesus Christ, Deontay Johnson. Catch the fucking football. Incomplete. And, well, we got a penalty. See what that is, first off. If it's against Pittsburgh, if I'm Kansas City, I'm declining it. Actually, an offside, so replay the down. He lucks out on the drop. It'll now be 3rd and 6. So at least they get a free 5 yards there, and if they still don't get the first down here, you bring on Boswell for a field goal. And then you're down 4 scores going into the fourth quarter. At least officiating now, they're starting to call it down the middle. 3rd down and 6. And Ben gonna go near side. It's caught, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh at the 22. Ray McLeod on the reception. And then a penalty after the fact. What the hell is this? Taunting? Fuck you. My ass it was. Just as I say they're starting to call it down the middle, they throw a stupid penalty.
One of the best coaches in the National Football League at getting his guys to do the right things, right? Be accountable. No question. Have a passion for the game.
You got to pick it up. There was no foul on that. No.
He's great at teaching fundamentals.
He says 1st down. He's celebrating. That's a 1st down.
This is something that the whole taunting issue, a lot of people.
And the taunting, which taunting and targeting need to go. You can't even celebrate on the field anymore. That's a big play. You got to celebrate on the fucking sideline, which how much fun's that? Unsportsmanlike conduct. They say on James Washington was on Ray McLeod. Okay, so 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. They give him the 1st down, and then foul, of course, after the play. And see where they spotted at. It'll be 15 yards from there, so probably back around the 40 if I'd have to guess. 1st and 10. You got to play through it, though. Just keep doing what you're doing. Say fuck you and move on. 1st and 10. And back at the 38, okay. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. And they'll run a draw, which is probably a good call after all that to settle it down. 5 yards up the middle. 2nd down and 5. They're chipping away at it. They're getting chunk yards. They just got to break one now. You don't want to turn it over. I mean, I wouldn't mind probably taking a shot. Or that's down the sideline. I'd work probably something over the middle in the end zone. But once again, there's really nothing to tight ends. They will go deep near side and incomplete 10 for Claypool. 3rd down and 4. He's had an all right game. That's his first drop. Only 3rd time he's been targeted, though. But compared to how he has played, you know, like, he looks like Dodd out there. But Pittsburgh's, you know, still down by 30 with under 4 to play in this 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 4. From the 32, 3rd down and 4. Ben gonna dump it off, and it's dropped. Incomplete. 10 for Harris. Here comes Boswell. This will be officially from about 49 if they kick it, but they're gonna go for it. I mean, you sort of have to. I'd take my points. Gives you something at least. Prove me wrong, though. Score a fucking touchdown on this drive. You got to convert, though, for a 1st down, though, first off. So, 4th and 4. I mean, this might do it right here. I mean, this game's, for the most part, already over as it is anyway, but still. 4th and 4. Ben, they'll go deep. And pass interference, they're going to get a penalty. So, they are calling it down the middle. You got to give the refs credit. He sort of stumbled and tripped himself, but in his face, you can't do that. Yeah, 1st down and 10, Pittsburgh. 2 fouls, both by the defense, so they won't offset. It'll be a 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. So an offside first off, that's going to be declined. And then a pass interference, 15 yards, automatic 1st down. Is it a spot foul? Spot foul. Now they have a 1st and goal inside the 10. You got to score a touchdown now on this drive. Come on now, let's go. You're still in this, believe me. Yeah, that's a good call. But then late, after the penalty, which that's what people are going to argue that's not a foul. Yeah, he did stumble a little bit and tripped himself, but because of the penalty, well, it's domino effect, folks. You ever play fucking dominoes? From the 11, 1st and 10. Well, if you haven't, hopefully you have some common sense, but Jesus Christ. Pass behind, intended for Deontay Johnson, almost picked off. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
That timing was off. I think the ball just, as Deontay breaks out of it.
Did someone, I guess, what he expected that route to look like at the end.
He makes a cut inside, and then when he just to go up and break out, but Deontay tries to give him space. And I thought he actually did. He just, the wind is also
2nd and 10, Pittsburgh. Why don't you go to Zach Gentry? Rather than Fryermuth, go to your fucking tight end here. Ben, near side, incomplete, intended for Ferreira McLeod. 3rd down and 10. You kick it if you don't convert here. You take your points.
see this right here. So he's throwing it, and if the ball's out in the way,
They're not synced up whatsoever. I mean, offense, defense, special teams, just not a damn thing has gone their way today. But this is the closest they've been to the end zone. We'll see if they can punch it in. 3rd and 10 from the 11. Ben looking to throw, and it'll be incomplete. Intended for Najee Harris out of the backfield on a wheel route. 4th and 10. I mean, rather than kicking a 50-yard field goal, you're going to be kicking now 30-yard field goal, give or take a few yards. The penalty helped you out, yeah, but then you can't do anything after anyway, so it doesn't matter. They're going to stay on the field, go for it, 4th and 10. Why the fuck not? They jumped off sides. They blow it dead. They'll have a 4th and 5. So, or now false start. 4th and 15. You got to kick it. Take your points. Because you need the 1 yard line. You need a touchdown on this play. And then you need 4 touchdowns in the 4th. Here comes Boswell, and they will kick it. Thank you. Take your damn points. You should have taken them to begin with. And 3rd time's a charm works out. After the penalty, and now the kick. Chris Boswell, the only sign of life for the Steelers. 34-yard field goals up and good. They finally, with 3:34 to play in this 3rd quarter, are finally on the scoreboard with points. However, the Steelers still trail on the road against Kansas City Chiefs with 3.5 to play in the 3rd quarter by 27. It is 30-3 Chiefs, and they're going to get the ball back when we return. But also going on right now in the NFL, as in these 3 games that are ongoing, this 4 o'clock window, all 3 home teams on top. Kansas City, of course, here 33, leading Pittsburgh. The Seahawks 24-7 on top of Chicago. And the Raiders still hanging on to that 1-point lead against the Broncos, 14-13. Both those games, early 4th quarter. We're here at the tail end of the 3rd quarter, so, you know, bearing any overtime, I would think, in those other 2 games, this will be the final game on before Sunday Night Football kicks off with Washington and Dallas coming up in less than 2 hours or so now over on NBC for Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football tomorrow night is, in fact, Miami and New Orleans in a must-win game for both teams, sitting at 7-7 to stay alive in the playoff hunt. However, Week 16 began on Thursday night with the final Thursday night game of the season, bearing, of course, any more postponements. and the Tennessee Titans won on a game-winning field goal, 20-17 over San Francisco 49ers. See, in that game, Tennessee was also getting shut out at halftime. And then it was a tale of two halves, and they found a way to come back and win it. Pittsburgh could, will they? Probably not, but they could do the same. They've done it a few times and come up on both ends of it, but defensively, get back to it here shortly, they got to continue to get some stops, get the hell off the field, and down the stretch here, you're going to have to score some touchdowns rather than field goals. Because unless you're going to be kicking a field goal, you know, on every drive, on a 10-second drive, you know, you're going to need a ton of them to have a chance to tie, win this game. But that's not going to happen, of course. You need touchdowns. You can't be settling for 3 now, though you just did. So, the thing is, in that game, you know, Tennessee was only down by 10. They weren't down by 30. You know, you got to get some turnovers on defense. So, Ball's wanting to kick off, but yeah, the Titans beat the Niners on Thursday, 20-17, and then Green Bay and Indy won yesterday on Christmas against Cleveland and Arizona during the doubleheader, 24-22 and 22-16, officially your final scores, in which, in the Brown-Packer game, turnovers were crucial. 3 Browns turnovers in the first half led to 21 Packer points, and they lost by 2. So do the math. They don't turn the ball over, they win. You know, Pittsburgh with the 14 points given to Kansas City off turnovers. I mean, you're still down. You're still down 16-3, but going into the fourth quarter, you're starting to find some drives. You need 2 touchdowns to take the lead, so it's going to come back to the turnovers in the end, with really all game long anyway not being able to stop them. That's going to bite them in the ass. So the Titans, Packers, and Colts all won before we kicked off today's slate, which we'll get into momentarily, but back to it, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs from the 35-yard line. Mahomes going to hand off. Gore, and he'll get about 4 yards on that run to the 39. 2nd down and 6. So, commercial break. We'll continue to update Week 16 and preview Week 17. If we get to it tonight, okay. If not, because we'll also be back on tomorrow for Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw live watch along reactions live here on YouTube. Hopefully you'll tune back in. That's when we'll update the NFL playoff standings. I always try to hold off to as late as I possibly can, because with games still ongoing, you know, this team wins, this team loses, etc. With the tiebreakers, you know, those are standing-wise going to change. So with one more game tomorrow, Monday night, no doubleheader on Monday or Tuesday this week compared to last week by any means, but yeah, we'll probably hold off with the standings until tomorrow, but if we get to today, we get to today, so we'll go from there momentarily. 1st and 10, Chiefs once again from the 45. That's 2 first downs already on this drive. They're just keeping it simple, working the 6. Gore's going to stay in bounds, so the clock's going to roll after a 7-yard run. A minute and a half to play in the 3rd quarter, and they lead by 27, 30-3 against the Steelers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be out for the rest of the game with a collarbone injury. He's already missed a few weeks this year. If I'd have to guess, with a collarbone injury, it's either going to be a very bad sprain or if not broken. Hopefully he's okay. Of course, you never want to see anybody get hurt by any means. But, I mean, even with Darrell Williams and then Derek Gore behind him, they're still able to run the football. So, without Clyde Edwards-Helaire again, I mean, they should be all right. But when they were without him earlier this year, that's when Kansas City was sitting at 3-4. But since then, they've won 7, looking to make it 8 in a row today. And 3rd and 1, this will probably do it for the quarter. There's about a 12-second differential between the game clock and play clock. And they get a first down here. They can wind the clock and get a new set of downs to begin the 4th and final quarter play with a big lead. And they will get the first down and a few more yards on top of it. Williams gets to the 40 for a 1st and 10. And, yeah, the 3rd quarter is going to expire with the Chiefs on top of the Steelers 30-3, as that is, in fact, your score. So, once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links, as always, in the description below. Scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well. Right here on YouTube, not that hard to miss. Thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. But as mentioned, with Seattle, Kansas City, and Vegas all on top right now, with the 4th quarter and a half to be played in those 3 games. The Titans, Packers, and Colts all won already this week, along with earlier today. The Atlanta Falcons defeated the Detroit Lions by 4, 20-16. The Bengals, for the first time in over a decade, have swept both the Steelers and Ravens in, for the most part, blowout fashion in all 4 games. Cincy with a 20-point, 41-21 win at home against Baltimore, who will look to get Lamar Jackson back next week, as he's missed a few straight games now, and Baltimore's lost 4 in a row. They're going to go winless this month of December, which a few weeks back, who would have thought that would have happened? They're playing themselves out of the playoffs right now. They are, if you think about it. The Rams won 30-23 over the Vikings, so Minnesota is not helping their case either. They're now 7-8, as are the Browns. Both of those teams are very similar on the outside looking in the playoff picture right now. With that Ram win, both they and the Cardinals clinched playoff berths. So in the AFC, as if Kansas City would win today, they'd clinch the AFC West. They'd become the first AFC team to clinch playoff berth. As I said earlier, for the most part, the NFC's getting itself figured out quicker than the AFC is, because they have 4 of their 7 already in, with Green Bay atop. And both Green Bay and Kansas City are going to try, of course, to maintain home field advantage come playoff time as well. But then, of course, behind them, NFC-wise here with Green Bay, you have Dallas, along with Tampa, and actually the Rams have jumped the Cardinals. And then with the Ram win over the Bucks, with both teams 11-4, they have the head-to-head. LA is going to be your 3 and Tampa is your 4. With Arizona, San Francisco, Philly's playing some damn good football right now. They are, as your wild cards, and then it's, Washington, Minnesota, New Orleans, Atlanta, Seattle, no particular order, still in the hunt. AFC-wise, it's the Chiefs, Titans, Bengals, and Bills, with the Colts, Patriots, and Steelers right now, along with the Dolphins, Ravens, Browns, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos still all in it. So there's that. So I do fit that in right there. But another big first down for the Chiefs. And they've been able to convert first downs like it's next to nothing all day. So credit where credit is due. And 1st and 10 inside the red zone of the 13-yard line. Mahomes under center. He'll hand off to Gore. And nowhere for him to go. Tackle right line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. So also earlier, Buffalo split with New England, both home teams losing in those two games this month, this year. Both road teams picked up wins. New England winning on the road a few Monday nights ago, and the Bills winning here today, 33-21. The Jets beat the Jaguars by 5, 26-21. 2nd and 10, and Gore on the give again, about a yard or two if he's lucky enough. 3rd down and 8 for the Chiefs. They're, even with this big lead, they've left a few points off the board. Not many, but a few. But, down the stretch, come playoff time especially, you're not going to want to be doing that because it might be the difference in the end. If the Steelers didn't turn the ball over, yeah, it might be a competitive ball game. And if they were able to get off the field on defense, yeah. But that, of course, didn't happen, so here we are. From the 12, 3rd and 9. They've done a good job. Mahomes going down the sack. Cameron Hayward on the tackle. They've done a good job keeping T.J. Watt away and Cam Hayward until just now. And he's been able to pick them apart defensively in the back end. 4th and 13. Here comes field goal unit again for the Chiefs. Make it 33-3. But just the Chiefs, no doubt about it. Better team here today. It is a little hard to say because Pittsburgh's right there. Once again, just a couple things not going their way, and it's cost them. But once again, credit to the Chiefs because they've been able to capitalize. So, can't say no about it. It's going to deserve to win this game, and Pittsburgh's for sure going to deserve to lose. And they'll tuck their tail and head back to the Berg and have one final home game this year, and potentially the final home game in Big Ben Roethlisberger's Hall of Fame career next Monday night against the Browns. But and what a way to go out for him if, in fact, they make the playoffs or not, but more so than not because, of course, back in 2004, drafted in the 1st round, he came in for an injured Tommy Maddox against the Ravens, week 2. And, if they don't make the playoffs, the Ravens then would be his first and then last opponent he'd, of course, ever face. But he also grew up in Ohio. Didn't beat the Bengals this year. They get swept by them. But to go out and, beat the Browns again maybe, a team, he's had more wins over than any other team in his career, along with the Bengals because he's dominated the state of Ohio. So if it is, going to be it for Ben down the stretch here, what a career it's been. 2 should be 3 Super Bowls, but Rodgers, of course, has the 3rd. I've said a few times this year, I know I said it earlier today, I still feel, because other than if you sign or trade for somebody come off season or draft somebody in the draft, the people they have behind them right now, into the future, they are not the answer. I still feel he could play another year or two if they have a running game and are playing good on defense. But it's going to be up to him in the end whether he's going to want to play or not. It looks like it'll be it, but we'll see. He's still got a few more games. This will be the final December game potentially for him. Because he got 2 early January kicks with the expanded regular season next month and next year, of course. But it'll be interesting to see what the future holds. I, just don't want to go through no in-between, even with the Super Bowl appearance as well, after Bradshaw until they got Roethlisberger. They had a chance to take Marino out of Pitt. They're going to have a chance potentially to take Pickett out of Pitt, but here today, as that's then, we'll deal with it then. This is now. Chiefs on to kickoff. Back to a 30-point, 33-3 lead. Pittsburgh on the return of the 30-yard line. First and 10 with 11:50 to play. Both teams, of course, all 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning to come as well. But also earlier today in the NFL, the Eagles scored 31 unanswered and won at home for the second time in less than a week against a divisional opponent, defeating the Giants this time around 34-10. The Bucks eliminate the Panthers from playoff contention. Matt Rule, along with a few other coaches, including Matt Nagy, Mike Zimmer, both New York coaches, Houston, Denver, Pittsburgh with another turnover, and the first and goal from the 5 for the Chiefs. Jesus Christ. Scream? How about whatever is worse than scream? Just miscommunication. They faked the give, faked the end around. In Kansas City, you're right from the start anyway. Right there. Ben gets hit. As he tried to tuck it, ball came loose, and they recover the fumble and run it back to the 5-yard line. We'll have a first and goal now. Looking to put 40-plus on the Steelers. And the other 2 times the Steelers have had 41 put against them in back-to-back games were the first 2 of this now 4-game road trip over the past month or so, just prior to Thanksgiving, and they lost, of course, both. They haven't won on the road since Halloween. The Chiefs haven't lost since the week before Halloween. Once again, it's the day after Christmas, so Merry Christmas. So, yeah. No, the coaching carousel I was discussing there a little bit ago, that's about to heat up. I believe teams tomorrow, a few weeks prior to when they normally can, they can start interviewing candidates, if I'm not mistaken. Black Monday for when coaches would get fired, that's going to get pushed back, of course, because the season's larger than ever, biggest season ever in NFL history, but that won't be until January the 10th, but that's still a 2-week gap. So, we'll see what happens with, who's coaching and playing where in the future, but as mentioned, the Buccaneers beat the Panthers 32-6. It'll be interesting down the stretch, to say the least. We got a little less than 2 months to the Super Bowl now, but it's been one hell of a ride to this point in time in the football season, no doubt about it, with college football bowl season also underway. A few more, unfortunately, games were canceled this upcoming week due to COVID. Hopefully everyone's doing well and staying safe. But be sure to go check out my college football bowl game bowl season preview as well, live here on the YouTube channel. Of course, you can disregard a few of those games once you tune in and listen to it because they've since been canceled and aren't going to be played, of course. But just be sure to go check that out. And hopefully tune back in tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw for the NFL and WWE, respectively, live watch-along reactions. Then live here on YouTube, and then also into next week and next year for more live streams. So be sure to subscribe. The Texans upset the Chargers earlier today as well, and probably the biggest upset of the day, 41-29. And then still ongoing are these 3 games with Seattle, Kansas City, and Vegas still on top. Both of those games, less than a touchdown difference. This is a 30-point blowout for the Chiefs, 30-33 on top of Steelers. But, of course, we still have Sunday night, Monday Night Football with Washington and Dallas, along with the Dolphins and Saints. But Week 16, we're going to have the first ever Week 16, that's the next to last week in the regular season with 18 weeks now and 17 regular season games. But all the games next week will be on Sunday. 2nd and goal for Kansas City. Fumble on the snap, but they recover. And as Mahomes has since been pulled Kansas City inserts Chad Henne into the lineup at quarterback, the former Wolverine, who has turned into one of those journeyman quarterbacks. And, yeah, 2 straight snaps with 2 straight fumbles, but they recovered both, and now they got a 3rd and goal. Of course, Chad Henne, last year in the playoffs with Mahomes out in that Brown matchup, he came in and got him that big first down, and they ended up winning the game. And then, of course, won the Super Bowl before they lost to the Bucs. But Kansas City's trying to go to 3 straight Super Bowls, which is very hard to do. Another handoff, 4th and goal, they'll kick it, go up 36-3. Rely on your special teams. You gotta, I mean, lucky to have a big lead like this, but other games you got to score touchdowns because you're not always going to be blowing out teams like this. But both teams, really haven't been able to rely on special teams because both kickers have missed kicks today. Officially from about 30 yards, 4th and goal, kicks good, just barely. 36-3 Chiefs on top of the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers. Next week, as mentioned, week 17, all 16 games with the 32 teams will, in fact, be on Sunday, January the 2nd. Hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas yesterday, and we'll, in fact, have a Happy New Year as well, or however you celebrate. I'm not the Happy Holidays type of person, but Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, comes down to it, but next week, week 17, all 16 games on Sunday. We'll have the Falcons and Bills, Giants and Bears. Chiefs Bengals at 1 o'clock on CBS is going to be a damn good game. I would think for myself, I know I'm going to have Sunday Night Football, live watch-along reactions, with Steelers, of course, playing Monday night. It'll be Vikings-Packers next Sunday night from Lambeau. That should be a doubleheader because I'm thinking for myself, I should have my area Chiefs Bengals. Because on CBS, other than Giants, Bears, maybe even Jaguars, Patriots, there's not going to be any other game on, for CBS at least in my area, that's going to be put on the TV. Fox, it might be Atlanta, Buffalo. It'll probably end up being, as we just saw this past Tuesday, though, with Philly and Washington, as Philly will go on the road this time. But, yeah, I can guarantee you that'll be on Fox at 1 o'clock. Fox will have America's Game of the Week next week at 4 o'clock as well. They actually flexed Arizona-Dallas quietly. I think a lot of people know about this, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But there's 3, actually make it 5 4 o'clock games, 2 on CBS. Those will be regional with Denver and the Chargers. And then Houston, San Fran. But then 3 4:25 kicks on Fox with Arizona, Dallas, Detroit, Seattle. As really only the Detroit and Seattle markets will get that. And then Rams, Ravens. So it's still a split broadcast from coast to coast. Also next week, as mentioned, Falcons, Bills, Giants, Bears, Chiefs, Bengals. We'll have the Dolphins and Titans. Miami's got a big game, though, tomorrow night, first off, with the Saints before they hit the road again to Music City. So they won't be home until Week 18 when they host the Patriots. But that's also next week, along with the Raiders and Colts, Jaguars, New England. That'd be an interesting matchup if Urban Meyer didn't get fired with Urban and Belichick. But, of course, he's no longer the head coach. Panthers, Saints, Bucks, Jets, as Tom Brady's, already owned them as a Patriot. He'll face them now as the Buccaneer quarterback. Eagles, Skins, Broncos, Chargers, Texans, 49ers, Cardinals, and Cowboys, which that's arguably the best game of the week next week, along with Chiefs, Bengals, and then probably Rams, Ravens, Vikings, Packers in that particular order if you'd want to rank them 1, 3, 4, 5. But still a lot of football left for everybody until the playoffs do in fact begin. As always, on side on paper, side on the field. So whatever the hell happens, happens. And We'll get to the playoffs when we get to the playoffs. But right now, 1st and 10 for the Steelers from the 15-yard line. Don't turn it over again. 3 turnovers have led to 17 Chief points. So basically half of what they have come off of turnovers. It's 36-3 with 9:20 to play. You know, you don't turn the ball over. You need about 2.5 scores. That's doable in the fourth quarter. Not being down 33, though, that's not. 2nd and 7. It's the little things. It's the turnovers that have come back to bite them. The Bears. Matt Nagy might be keeping the job for the time being. Most head coaching wins in Steelers history. Mike Tomlin's 1 away from tying and 2 from surpassing Bill Cowher, which is very, very hard to believe. And then Andy Reid with the win, though. The Chiefs will win the West and clinch a playoff spot, try to hold on a number 1 spot. And then Cowher's former boss, as he was the DC before he got the Steeler job with Kansas City under the late, great Marty Schottenheimer, who coached a few teams. I mean, that's just what a few coaches did back then if you weren't set in stone with one franchise. I mean, Schottenheimer and Dick Vermeil are very close compared, in my opinion, at least. And they're both very successful as well. But Andy Reid's going to surpass him for second all-time, and then he'd need another 100 or so, it looks like, which I don't know if he'd ever get that. But he is, Andy Reid, the first ever NFL head coach in history to have at least 100-plus wins, regular and postseason, with 2 different franchises. Of course, he did it with Philly. Now he's doing it with Kansas City. But Hank Stram's the top, as Chuck Noll is with Pittsburgh. He's top the wins in the Midwest with the Kansas City Chiefs. But 2 historic franchises here today with the Steelers and Chiefs. Benny Snell in at running back. Ben hands off to him. They get a 1st and 10. 7.5 to play from the 43. Ben out of the gun. Gonna fake it, throw, complete to Deontay Johnson. 2 yards to 2nd and 8. He goes. Also next week, as mentioned, as the Bills will host the Falcons. The Giants will head to Chicago, take on the Bears. Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, Titans. Raiders, Colts is a low-key good matchup next week. Jaguars, Pats. Panthers, Saints. Bucks, Jets. Eagles, Skins. Denver and LA. Houston, San Fran. The Cardinals and Cowboys. Lions, Seahawks. Rams, Ravens also next week. Baltimore is going to try not to lose 5 straight. Minnesota will play at Green Bay next Sunday, and then these Pittsburgh Steelers will host the Cleveland Browns, who lost yesterday on the road on Christmas against the Green Bay Packers. So both teams this week 16, having lost on the road to Green Bay and Kansas City, will meet Heinz Field. Final Steeler home regular season game of the season on Monday Night Football from the Steel City. So 1st and 10 again for the Steelers, but as Kansas City will head to Cincinnati to take on the Chiefs. The Steelers will host the Browns, and I know for sure, definite live watch along reactions of the latter with Cleveland Pittsburgh. Potentially, if Kansas City, Cincinnati is on in my area on CBS at 1 o'clock next Sunday, which that's going to be the game of the week for them because they don't have a 4 o'clock kick. And I would think Nance and Remo will be on the call for that as well. I'll also have live watch along reactions of that, and then with a doubleheader for Sunday Night Football too. So just be sure to subscribe. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. It's the easiest way to stay updated. So be sure to scroll down, check out the links below. And just one of those days for the Steelers. Another big blowout road loss. Very tough, very frustrating, hard to watch. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, but I know I'll probably ramble about something once we hit a final score here. But Ben, 2nd and 10, not going to weigh easy, complete. And that is number 15, Cody White at wide receiver. His first catch of the afternoon. Be 3rd down and about 5 for Pittsburgh. But just one of those days. One of those days. It's why they play the game. You play to win the game, do you not? Roll out, complete to White again. First down and 10, Pittsburgh. So he, of course, is getting some late catches here in garbage time, but hey, if he's catching as he is, why don't you throw him in a little bit earlier, and he might be taking somebody's spot if he keeps it up down the stretch. But first and 10 from the 34, under 5 to play. Harris on the give, and a 2-yard run for him, second down and 8. But yeah, that's what I said last week and a few times today. If they can take care of business themselves, they'll be all right. But still 2 more games to be played. They can still find a way to win the division potentially, along with making it as a wild card. So the season's not over with this big blowout loss on the road. Thing is, they still go on the road once more, and that's Week 18 at Baltimore, but they already beat them earlier this month. And they already beat Cleveland, who they host next week as well. So 2 divisional matchups. If they take care of business, they'll be all right. They will. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Ben in the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. 10 for Deontay Johnson. Obviously, Tony Romo doesn't know how to use a telestrator, unlike John Madden. And boom, the Chiefs give it to Pittsburgh today, no doubt about it. But just the tie. That's going to be the key. It's either going to help them or hurt them. Because that tie isn't a win or a loss. It's a tie against the Lions a month ago. Second and 10, pass complete to Zach Gentry. He'll get about 3, maybe 4 yards, third down for Pittsburgh. If they would have won that game and lose today, they'd be 8-7 because they would have been 8-6 coming in. But they're 7-6-1. But then they would have lost that game, so it's helping, but then also hurting them, depending on how you look at it. If they would have lost that game, they'd already be 7-7, and then they drop to 7-8, and then they'd host the Browns, who are also 7-8 next week. But they'll be 7-7-1, whereas the Browns will be 7-8. Both teams having lost this week, but that tie's down the stretch either going to help them or hurt them. Still don't know. Claypool on the reception, be 4th and short. They'll go for it. I mean, you could kick it. I mean, Kansas City's going to cover their 10-point spread anyway. But you want to lose by 33 or 30. They'll go for it. They'll run a pass. 4th and 4. Yeah, you got to try to build off of something moving ahead. Back to the basics and building blocks. Hopefully they got some Legos or Lincoln Logs yesterday for Christmas, but 4th and 4, slant. Deontay Johnson beats his man, and he walks in the end zone for a Pittsburgh Steeler touchdown. And with 2:54 to play, they finally hit pay dirt for 6, 36-9. Do they go for 2? Doesn't matter, but I'd kick it, 36-10. This game, go back to the Bengal loss on the road right after Thanksgiving, very similar. And then the few points Kansas City left on the board, with the missed extra point and the missed field goal, well, then there's still a 1-point difference, but they still put up 40 in the win. 36-10, Chiefs, with a Steeler touchdown. Roethlisberger complete to Deontay Johnson. They also convert on 4th down on that play as well. Ben now 23 of 35, 159 yards passing, touchdown interception. 3 turnovers, though, to 17 of the 36 Chief points. Just like Cleveland yesterday. 3 turnovers, 21 Packer points, and they lost by 2. Pittsburgh is losing by 26 right now, but it'd be a little bit closer, and then, defensively for Kansas City, they'd have to step up a little bit more. Mahomes would probably still be in, and they'd be trying to hold on to the win rather than allowing Pittsburgh to potentially come back and make it a closer ball game than what it is now versus what it could be, and then, even more so than not. But hey, at least they have scored a few points today. Once again, of course, they probably should have at least another 3. Missed field goal in the first half, so 36-13. Don't turn it over those 3 times. You take 17 away from 36, you get 19. You get the same score you won by against Tennessee last week at 19-13. It's a 1-score game, and, with a couple minutes to play, you get a stop on defense potentially, hypothetically here, and then get the ball back. You drive and score. You finally do something as well, and you probably win the game. It's the 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers that led to 17 Chief points. It's 19-13 if they had that field goal earlier. If not, well, they're still down 9, and then you need a touchdown, a 2-point, and then something else on top of it. But you can't, as I said at the start, turn the ball over and expect to have a chance to win, especially on the road this time of year. It was more than turnovers, too, because they couldn't get the hell off the field on defense, no doubt about it. I mean, running game, Najee Harris, he does have 19 carries for 93 yards rushing. Benny Snell, 4 of 18. And then Harris still 5 of 17 out of the backfield. But as I said earlier, he keeps it up. They find a running game at 5-6 yards in a cloud of dust, chipping away at it. In the second half, he might end with over 100 yards rushing. He's coming damn close once again. But it's the turnovers. 3 turnovers of 17 points. They don't have that. They lead by 9, 19-10. If everything else, of course, goes the way it did. Pittsburgh probably going to kick an onside kick here, yeah. It's probably smart. But then you add in the missed field goal. That's 19-13. And we got ourselves a ball game right now rather than a 26-point deficit. But Pittsburgh on to kick off. They'll kick it deep, You cut your loss and just get home healthy. Just get home healthy. In the meantime, as Kansas City returns that, they'll have 1st and 10. The Raiders hold on to win. They've now won 2 straight. They're 8-7, so Miami, they're going to have to win tomorrow to stay in it. But then that tie for Pittsburgh would help them to potentially stay in that 7th spot. But they still, of course, have 1 less win, so it would also hurt because, with a few teams behind them also now winning compared to earlier when they were losing. I mean, it's going to boil down to that tie, and it's either going to help them or hurt them. But if they can take care of business, it'll sort itself out. Not today, though. Pittsburgh going to call timeout. But no, the Bears have come back and won. They beat Seattle. So Seahawks season is for sure over now. They lost on Tuesday. Back to week 1 with the 7 spot. Baltimore lost 4 straight week. They have a head-to-head over Vegas, week 1, remember, on Monday Night Football in overtime? Or no, Vegas won. So Vegas should be in the 7th spot because they're both 8-7. That's wrong. Unless there's another tiebreaker that I don't know of. Baltimore with Pittsburgh's loss is going to get to the 7th spot. But Pittsburgh still has to play Cleveland and Baltimore these next 2 weeks. It's hectic. It's chaotic. We'll get to the playoffs when we get to the playoffs, but it's going to come down to tiebreakers, folks. It will. But hopefully they do, Pittsburgh can take care of business. They'll be all right. We'll get to the 2-minute warning here in about 33 seconds or so. It'll be 3rd down for Kansas City. Pittsburgh in their timeout. They'll have 1 remaining plus 2-minute mark. Down 26, 36-10 here with 2.5 to play. 3rd and 6 for the Chiefs. But no, as the Raiders won 17-13 over the Broncos, their season for the most part is probably done for as well. Seattle loses at home on a 2-point conversion by the Chicago Bears Chi-Town, the Bears win it by 25-24. So, I mean, they're both done for. I mean, that's just a crazy finish for these two teams that are, well, it was a good game at point in time for Seattle to win to stay alive. They'd still need a lot of help. But looking back on it now, because Chicago won and Seattle lost, that game was pointless. I don't know why the hell they just played it. But it's on the schedule, so they're going to play it. These games are going to get played one way or another. Whether they're going to get postponed on top of it, too. There's too much money on the line. And we had to see this yesterday, so why do we have to see it again? The longest game in NFL history was played on Christmas 50 years ago yesterday. And we talked about it on Christmas yesterday, so we don't need to talk about it again today. But they're going to show the highlight for the hell of it, so why the fuck not? I mean, I get it's a blowout. You don't have anything else to talk about, but... And they're probably just hoping to get to the airport and get home, but... yeah, Pittsburgh, the turnovers, you think about it. You really think about it. Because they played better in the second half than they did in the first half. You know, they're in it. They are. But because of the 3 turnovers that led to 17 Chief points, and you have your field goal, and you're getting the ball back with under, well, no timeouts, decent return, a little over, rather than under, but we're about to be under 2 minutes, 2:16 to play. You drive and score a touchdown here, you don't turn the ball over earlier, you have your field goal down 6, Mason Rudolph coming in, so Ben's done, which he wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't turn the ball over. You drive and score a touchdown here, you win the fucking game. Just, it's the small little things, folks, and that's why it's very frustrating. Because we know as much as they do, one thing that didn't go their way goes their way, they're right there. But, of course, it didn't, and this is how it's played out. So you live with it. You move on. But still, from the 39, 1st and 10, and Christmas was yesterday, so here comes Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, in at quarterback, and pass complete to his tight end and Kevin Rader. And that'll take us to the 2-minute mark. They'll have a 2nd down and 3 with 2 minutes to play. Rudolph has shown, you know, he's not the answer anyway. So Dwayne Haskins once again inactive. Like I said, everybody they have behind Roethlisberger moving, heading next year. Unless, because quarterback-wise in the draft, that's slim pickings. Sign or trade for somebody come March, April. As much talk as, you know, Ben needs to retire or he's thinking about it, should retire, however you want to put it. I've said time and time again, because they've been able to win with him for years, okay? What's 1 more? What's 2 more at this point? They need to have a running game, though, and continue to play good defense. Because you look at it, once again today, it's the turnovers. 2 of the 3 were on him. The interception, yes. The first of the 2 fumbles, no. But then there's miscommunication, which, well, that needs to be handled to begin with. And it starts at the top, but Pittsburgh has good leadership as it is. It's just the little things. You know, it's the small little things. It's attention to detail. And not being able to execute, and the turnovers. Penalties and turnovers absolutely kill you. Turnovers killed them today, and once again, 17 points for the Chiefs off of turnovers. They're up 26. They'd be up 9, let alone 6 if Pittsburgh has the field goal. Pittsburgh has the ball here. You drive and score a touchdown, you win the game. Simple as that. But because they turn the ball over, they're going to lose. So that's where we are. Exactly where we are. But as we hit about the 3-hour mark on this stream, and 2 minutes to play in this game, as always, just want to say thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Link subscription below. Hopefully tune back in tomorrow as well for more live watch along reactions live here on the YouTube channel. NFL Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw. Chiefs 3rd down with, no. 1st and Make it 2nd and 3 for the Steelers with Rudolph in at quarterback.
8th consecutive game. This was a team.
They're going to win 8 in a row. They haven't lost since before Halloween. Pittsburgh hasn't won on the road since Halloween, and once again, it's the day after Christmas. 2nd and 3 from the 45. Rudolph looking to throw, and Rudy complete to Cody White. And a 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. All right, you got to go. You got to go. You got a minute 50 and counting. You got to go. Show some more signs of life here from midfield, 1st and 10. Rudolph going to step up, and it's complete again. Kevin Rader, and then he dropped it because the hit incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the 50. Maybe he'll take your spot in the booth, Tony Romo. I'm sure he's better as a broadcaster than you are. Rudolph gets out of it, tucks it and runs, slides to the 32, and picks up 18 on a play he should have been sacked for a loss of at least 5 yards on. And a new set of downs, 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Rudolph, well, after that, he gets rid of it, and it's somehow going to be caught and dropped by his former teammate at Oklahoma State in James Washington. He just threw it up. That ball should have been picked off, but luckily it fell incomplete. Under a minute to play here, 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh. Steelers, no timeouts, 59 seconds, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Alpha, alpha, alpha on the audible. And Omega's Kingdom Come. He dumps it off to Benny Snell on the screen. Gets out of bounds, clock stops. Be 3rd and medium. Zero spot at. Clock stops, 53 seconds. So, yeah, Miami, they have a head-to-head over Baltimore. If they'd win tomorrow, Ravens sitting at 7 now because the Steelers are going to lose. The Dolphins would be the 7th seed, if I'm not mistaken. But then the Raiders also beat them. There's a head-to-head, and they're both 8 and 7, so the Raiders should get it. Yeah, that's how it should play out, I would think, right? I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see who squeaks in. But very disappointing, but it was the turnovers. Once again, the turnovers. This drive wouldn't be what it is if you didn't turn the ball over because they wouldn't have the 17 points. They'd be leading by 9, 6 if you'd have the kick. This drive would be for the win. And Rudolph wouldn't be in the game at quarterback. Ben would still be in. Chiefs would need to stand on defense. That's how this game would be played right now. If, in fact, they didn't turn the ball over. They'll spike it. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 8 seconds. So, the Chiefs are going to win 8 in a row. The Steelers are going to drop 2 of the last 4. They'll return home, though, next Monday night in a place they haven't lost at. They tied the Lions mid-November. Okay, yes. But they have not lost at home since late September. And we'll be into early January come next week. But they haven't won on the road since Halloween. The Chiefs haven't lost since the week before Halloween. It's once again the day after Christmas, and that'll do it. Final play of the game, a pass from Mason Rudolph complete to 81 as tight end. And Zach Gentry, the Chiefs with the win, pick up their 11th victory of the season, now 11-4. Pittsburgh falls to 7-1. That tie down the stretch here is either going to help them or hurt them. The Chiefs win the AFC West. Pittsburgh, at the start of the day, they were on the outside looking in the playoff picture. Start of this game, because of a few losses at 1 o'clock, they were in the 7 spot. But because they don't take care of business themselves, they lose on the road, 36-10 your final score. They're once again on the outside looking in the playoff picture. Kansas City will head to Cincinnati next Sunday. Pittsburgh will host Cleveland next Monday night. And as mentioned earlier, if in fact, and it should be, with Chiefs Bengals at 1 o'clock, we'll have a doubleheader with live watch-along reactions next Sunday, the day after New Year's. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year once again to everyone. Live watch-along reactions, Chiefs Bengals, along with Vikings Packers. And then, of course, next Monday with WWE Monday Night Raw, but potentially the final home game for Ben Roethlisberger in his Hall of Fame career on Monday Night Football against one of the two home state teams in which he grew up watching in Cleveland next Monday night. So, yeah. The schedule is as follows for streaming. Tomorrow night, of course, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw with the Dolphins and Saints. We'll have AEW New Year's Smash on Wednesday night. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Some football and wrestling. Live watch-along reaction streams as well. And then in the next week, next Sunday and Monday, for potential doubleheader, but for now, at least a single. We'll see, depending on the coverage. And then next Monday as well. But today, just once again for the Steelers, very frustrating and hard to watch at times, no doubt about it. Najee Harris going to finish with officially 93 yards rushing in the loss. So second half wise, you know, they're able to chip away at it 5-6 yards here or there and find a running game, which there's a sign for what's to come, hopefully. Ben still can't do it all by himself, though, as they'll actually have a, because we end just prior to 7:30 before 60 minutes, have a short post-game show here on CBS, as this was the final game to wrap up before Sunday Night Football. Less than an hour or so now with Washington and Dallas, Monday night, tomorrow night, of course, Miami and New Orleans, and then on to week 17 and 18 before the playoffs begin. And, you know, we talked a little bit about all that, and we'll continue to discuss more into the future. We'll definitely, tomorrow night at some point in time, talk about the playoff picture with only 2 more games we played this week. But that's it. This is now. And today, the turnovers. That was the main, in my eyes at least, my opinion. Everybody has their opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. They have the Steelers loss. As always, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. I mean, you win some, you lose some, no doubt about it. You know, when you lose, you say little, and when you win, you say less. But the turnovers. It was a good day for the NFL, no doubt about it. It's been a good week. We had 3 good games before this Sunday slate kicked off today with Thursday and the doubleheader yesterday on Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year once again, everyone out there listening. Really one big upset earlier, actually 2 now, with Chicago's win over Seattle. The other, of course, Houston over LA, beating the Chargers. Everything else was pretty good for the most part, down to the wire. I mean, this was, I guess you could say, the only blowout. I mean, a 26-point win's a 26-point win. So they still got to take care of business themselves. If they can beat both Cleveland and Baltimore, potentially get some help, they should be all right. That tie, though, it's either going to help them or hurt them. I don't know. Hell, I don't even think they know if that tie's going to help them or hurt them at this point, because they're right back on the outside looking into the playoff picture now. All of us woke up. They're on the outside looking in. Game kicked off. They're in the playoffs because of a few losses earlier. And now we'll all go to bed tonight, including them. They're once again on the outside looking in the playoff picture. You got to take care of business yourself. You can't have some handyman do all your dirty work for you. But that might be what it comes down to. But that tie, because it's a tie, it's not a win, it's not a loss. It's either going to help them or hurt them, I'm telling you right now. And they got to find a running game down this stretch, these final 2 games of the year. And hopefully come week 18, they finally win on the road, not far from home, by the way, as well. Because they beat Buffalo and beat Cleveland, both within less than 4 hours of each other. And Baltimore's not far either. So take that for what it's worth. But they haven't won on the road since Halloween. It's the day after Christmas once again. I know I said it a few times, but it's the truth. Okay? And some people can't handle it, but the truth is the truth. If they can beat Baltimore, after hopefully they beat Cleveland, I would think, bearing any other craziness down this final 2-week stretch of this regular season in the NFL, the Steelers should be in the playoffs. But it's all just going to depend on what the hell else happens. That's why the games are going to get played. They're going to get played one way or another, whether they're postponed or not. That's why they play the games. Not side on paper, side on the field. And as 60 minutes starts, we'll mute and actually turn on NBC for Football Night in America before Sunday Night Football with Washington and Dallas. But, I mean, it is what it is, you know. Once it's settled. The game's not side on paper, side on the field. And today on the field, they lose once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers do. 1-3 start before a 4-game winning streak. They tie. Lose 3 of 4, and now have lost 2 of their last 4. I mean, if they got to go on the road in the playoffs with how they played on the road this year, they're fucked. They're done for. But they've also, as I said earlier, you're in that 7th spot. Rather play Tennessee at 2, yes, no doubt about it, rather than Cincinnati because, you won rather than lost to both those teams. They've been able to go on the road in playoffs in the past and play Steeler football and find ways to win. That was the thing today. Just find a way. Another slow start. They need to I don't care what it's going to take. Start faster and find a way to win football games. Because all anybody at the end of the day ever remembers anymore anyways is whether you won or lost. Plain and simple. Okay? And it starts up front. You got to be able to block, to run. They found it in the second half. Ben didn't play great, but he didn't play that bad either. It was all right. Punting really wasn't an issue because they went for it a few times because they had to in some instances. But whether Harvin comes back or not, I mean, who they had filling in for him today, wasn't too bad. Boswell missed the extra point, the Chiefs missed an extra point and a field goal. Boswell missed a field goal as well. So, wind was a factor there, no doubt about it. But Kansas City did a good job up front protecting TJ Watt off the edge. He didn't have a tackle, I don't think, all fucking day, which that might be a first. The back end, Hayden and Minka, quiet afternoon. I mean, Hayward had a sack on Mahomes, but the middle of the defense was wide open all afternoon, and Mahomes picked them apart. Finished officially as Ben was, and Mason Rudolph in relief, 5 of 8 for 35 yards passing. Still not enough to win the job in the future. They'll have to figure something out if Ben does, in fact, retire. But Ben was 23 of 35, 159 yards passing, a touchdown, an interception, and then Mahomes, 23 of 30, 258, and 3 touchdowns. Kansas City in a 26-point win, they didn't even play a full game. they did all their damage in the first half. Because they didn't have to, because they did all their damage in the first half. They didn't have to play in the third and fourth quarter if they didn't want to, but they did because they wanted to win. No shit, no doubt about it. But you circle back around to it once again. The reason why the Steelers lost today, on top of, yes, not being able to get off the field on defense, and Mahomes was able to, be Patrick Mahomes and give the Steelers the Patrick Price in the loss. The Steelers lost today because it turned the ball over 3 fucking times. And 3 too many damn times. I said it a few times in the fourth quarter, and I'm going to say it again. So here we go. Those 3 turnovers led to 17 Kansas City Chief points. Do the math, folks. Go back to kindergarten. Do math. 2 plus 2 is 4. 36 minus 17 is 19. Pittsburgh has that field goal they missed. They're down by 6. If everything else goes the way it did, I know that's, asking for, well, regardless of how much it's worth, it's asking for a potential favor and a Christmas miracle. They don't turn the ball over 3 times that led to 17 Chief points. They trail 19-10, 19-13 if they have that missed field goal. And this last drive, once again, Rudolph, of course, isn't in because it's a whole different game. Kansas City needs to stop. Pittsburgh has to drive and score a touchdown to win the game. And we're totally not even talking about this. It's a whole different story. But because they turned the ball over, here we are. Very frustrating. It's the fundamentals. It's the simple things. It's the basics. They're starting to click in this aspect or that aspect, but in the others in which they normally do well in, it's like, okay, we're going to take a back seat today because no, you still got to play a full game. They do it to themselves more so than not, and as I mentioned, the Chiefs, of course, yes, deserve to win, whereas the Steelers deserve to lose, but Kansas City down the stretch too. They left points off the board today. They're going to have to do more if they're going to get back to the 3rd straight Super Bowl, no doubt about it. But a win's a win for them, and they win at 36-10 over the Black and Gold the day after Christmas here, 2021. So, you know what that means. One of those days for the Steelers. Man, there's not much else to be said, so I don't really think I'm going to say much else. Because I've said my piece to this point in time, but just as always, it sucks to lose. A win's a win. They win one last week, but then back to, being who the Steelers are right now, and that's digging ditches, putting themselves in a hole, and then hoping they find a way out of it to come back and win the game. And of course, they can't, and they end up losing again. They like playing from behind. They like playing catch-up. At least next week, they'll have home field against Cleveland. Remember, Cleveland came into Pittsburgh in January last year and rolled them in the playoffs. It'll be a little less than a year, about a week less, coming up on a year or so since that game actually took place. But man, just I don't know how they can, live with themselves playing like this inconsistently all the damn time. If they were more consistent and more balanced and didn't turn the ball over and, made stops on defense like they do, credit, they played a damn good team today in Kansas City. You got to give credit where credit's due. But it's one thing or another. It's basics. It's one thing. It's always one thing or another. Just how life goes. It is what it is in the end, but still. They're right there. They are, but they got to take care of business. So they can take care of business. Like I said, they should be all right, and they should be able to, no doubt about it, find a way to make the playoffs. They sure as hell right now, but we still got a few weeks to be played. Like I said, aren't going to make the playoffs as the division winner for the second straight year. They'd make it as a wild card, probably in the 6th or 7th spot, more so 7 than 6. And regardless, it's off to go on the road in the wild card round anyway. But it'd be a factor of a difference maker of who you're playing. And right now, it would have been Tennessee compared to Cincinnati, and I'd take that any day of the week. But because of the loss, you're on the outside looking in. Now you got to find a way back in. So, what door are you going to open? Or what door is going to open for you and let you in? You got to take care of business, Pittsburgh. If you can take care of business and not turn the ball over, turnovers, penalties, turnovers kill you. It goes for anybody, but more so than not. Here today and this weekend for both the Browns and Steelers, who both lost on the road because of turnovers. And they'll meet next Monday night on Monday Night Football, so that should be a good game. And then with the tie, like I said, it's either going to help them or hurt them, but I'll leave it at that. There's not much else to be said. You just got to continue to find a way and take care of business yourself. Find a way, take care of business yourself, find a running game, and don't turn the damn ball over. And you should be all right. So in the end, the Chiefs win it 36-10. That is, in fact, your final score over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patrick Mahomes was 23-30 for 258 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. 2 to Byron Pringle. The other to Mecole Hardman. Pringle had 6 catches, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hardman 3-31 in the score. Hopefully Clyde Edwards-Helaire is okay. They said a collarbone injury. So as I mentioned earlier, it's probably either going to be a sprain or a broken collarbone. When he was out earlier, that's when the Chiefs were 3-4. They've now won 8 in a row, but out again, they're going to have to find a way to not go back into that slump and find a running game and be able to win on the road. And the Chiefs have been able, for the most part, to win on the road this year. They've been able to do that. They haven't lost, and it was on the road. They haven't lost in general since the week before Halloween. They lost to Tennessee, who Pittsburgh just beat. Pittsburgh hasn't won on the road since Halloween. Day after Christmas. Merry Christmas. We'll get into the new year. And Kansas City will head to Cincinnati next Sunday. Pittsburgh will host Cleveland Browns. But in absence and relief of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had 9 carries, 27 yards rushing, and a touchdown, Darrell Williams had 11 carries, 55 yards rushing. Derek Gore, 12 for 43. And then Gore also had 3 catches, 61 yards out of the backfield. Williams, 3 of 30. Tyreek Hill, only 2 catches, 19 yards. So whether he, was going to play today or not off the COVID list, he didn't do much anyway. And Kelsey probably wouldn't have either. But if he, would have, it might have helped out Kansas City more, but it also might have, hurt them. Kelsey, along with a few other tight ends, arguably one of the best, if not the best in the league. And, coming off the one of the best games of his career last week in the overtime win against the Chargers for the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't need Hill or Kelsey today anyway. They did enough to win it. So they were able to capitalize off turnovers and, credit where credit's due, and they beat Pittsburgh. Because of Pittsburgh turnovers, the Chiefs won. They don't turn the ball over. Pittsburgh's right in there, and who knows the outcome then at that point. Be a different story. Especially if they would have won, but still lose, okay, but still, you can't turn the ball over. Demarcus Robinson had 2 catches, 15 yards. Noah Gray, 2 of 12. Blake Bell, 1 of 11. See, those tight end receptions, 3 for 25 total, those are all at halftime too. So Kelsey or no Kelsey, Mahomes didn't need any tight ends today. Pittsburgh did miss Pat Freiermuth, but they did go to Zach Gentry and Kevin Rader late. But even with how the game was at that point in time, it didn't matter, anyway. So Roethlisberger was 23 of 35, officially $1.59 and a touchdown. Had an interception. They had a fumble off of a catch and run, and then another fumble. So 3 Steeler turnovers led to 17 of the 36 Chief points. I do believe it would have been a totally different story if they didn't turn the ball over. But that's my opinion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Najee Harris, 19 carries, 93 yards rushing. Benny Snell, 5 of 20. Rudolph in garbage time there, as mentioned, he was 5 of 8 passing, 35 yards. And they also had a scamper for 17 yards up the middle as well. Deontay Johnson, 6 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown, had the 1 fumble. Claypool, 441. Zach Gentry, 431. Ray McLeod, 425. I mean, there's balance there with dishing the ball out, no doubt about it. Najee, 5 of 17 out of the backfield. But, hell, even Cody White, 3 for Austin, 3 catches, 16 yards receiving, late in the fourth quarter as well. Didn't play bad. Kevin Rader, 1 of 7. Benny Snell, 1 of 6 out of the backfield. But, yeah, just the turnovers. Turnovers. 3 turnovers to 17 of the 36 Chief points. You do the math. They lead by 9, if not less than that, at 6 because of the Steeler field goal they missed earlier. 19 to 13. That last Steeler drive, if everything goes, of course, the way it did, Pittsburgh, the game wouldn't have been over at that point in time. They need a touchdown to win it, and I like my chances. I would, but of course, that's not how it went. But you just got to move on, and like I said, you got to continue to find a way, just to keep chopping away at it. Do what you got to do. Find a way, and don't turn the damn ball over. Take care of business yourself, and if you do so, you're going to be all right. And then it's the tie. If they win out and they still have that tie, it's either going to help them or hurt them. So we'll see what gives down the stretch, but we'll have, of course, more live watch along reactions then the next 2 weeks for the final 2 Steeler games this regular season. Hopefully more come playoff time, but also more college football and the NFL along with professional wrestling. Live watch along reaction streams live right here on YouTube as well. So be sure to tune back in, and thanks for tuning in and listening here today. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below, and hope to see you now tomorrow night around this time for live watch along reactions of NFL Monday Night Football with the Dolphins and Saints, along with WW Monday Night Raw. Into this week coming up in the new year, and then in the next week as well. But hopefully we'll be along for the ride. And just as always, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you once again for tuning in and listening. Always greatly appreciated. But today, the Chiefs defeat the Steelers by your final score once again of 36-10. So that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96, live right here on YouTube. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So everybody now tomorrow night, and also next Monday night for the next Steeler game. Steelers hosting the Browns on Monday Night Football. But today, in the loss, Pittsburgh, as Kansas City now sits atop the AFC at number 1, AFC West champs. Pittsburgh falls to 7-1 with the Browns and Ravens in the final 2 regular season games this 2021, and potentially Ben Roethlisberger's final season as a member of the NFL franchise and the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, your final score once again, the Chiefs win it 36-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers here this afternoon. So take it for what it's worth, but you know what that means on this day after Christmas. December the 26th, 2021. Chiefs win by 26. Final score again, 36-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.